Be honest, you were expecting the wife beating vest tonight, weren't you? But got you. Okay, good evening, guys. It's real hot. I don't need to tell you that. If you're in Australia, in one of the very hot locations in Australia, you probably have a good laugh at us English. But it's about 30 degrees here. It's going to be even hotter tomorrow, and we've got this all week. Real hot. But we're going to get on with it. Right. Hopefully, we don't have any technical issues today, because that was what plagued me last week. I've checked everything. I've checked the mic, the camera. But I think it wasn't me. I think it was something to do with YouTube or StreamYards, because I've had a few texts from, I've been in contact with Ed Sweeney, and he said the stream he did last week went black and white for a while. So I think we're okay. I've ordered a more expensive mic anyway, get a better sound, you know. But right, good evening, guys. Brian, you have broken the record tonight, mate, because I've never, ever received a super chat before the streamers even charged. No need for me to come on, is there? Just like, you know, put it up and it's coming, and then, you know, let it go. But thank you, Brian. Very kind of you. Right. Okay. Let's start saying hello. Right. Somebody asked a question, and I was looking at the comments before I went live, and somebody said, why is Peter having a stream tonight? Is it something special? No, the last 3 weeks I've been doing streams on a Friday and a Sunday. The Friday stream is games, palaver, competitions. Sunday is just a chat. I've got a few beers. I'm going to talk about whatever you're talking about. We'll see how it goes. I'm very hot, guys, in here. You know, this room doesn't have any windows or anything. I've got a couple of fans here, but I've got to keep them low. If I turn them up high, you can't hear me. I can't hear myself. So we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be okay. As I say, very hot. Over 100, and I don't know how we'll do tonight, but let's get on with it. D and Nissan, hi Peter. The Friday stream was great. Look forward to it. I'm glad you liked that one, D. If you enjoyed that one, you'll enjoy the others better, because for me it was an awful stream because of you know, the technical issues. Martin Ryder, evening shaggers. You don't get many of them to the pound. You were talking about the thumbnail. Now let me just get a comment up that kind of put me back in my chair when I read it. I don't know if this is a joke or if he meant it, but he says, Will Smith, that picture in the background is absolutely outrageous. So I presume he's not talking about Sukhumvit Soy 4 with the bars. I presume he's talking about the lady with the coconuts there. Outrageous? Not really. She had a smile on her face. She's obviously enhanced her look. She's happy with that. We're happy to have a look. Why not? But yeah, I don't know. Bit strange one that. Okay. Mazza, evening all. Beers on ice. Wife beater. No, I got a t-shirt on tonight. I have had the wife beating t-shirt on, vest on all day, but I thought, shall I, shan't I? But I don't feel comfortable. Even Ed Sweeney wrote to me about that. Yeah, I'll read it to you if I can get his comment up. There we are. Right. Guys, can you see that? Can you see his face there? Right, Ed. Right, he's put, it was so weird to see you in that wife beater vest the other night. It was like James Stewart had become Robert Mitchum. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment, but I thought, right, well, we'll do without it tonight. You've had a lot of choice today, guys. There's been quite a few streams. I was watching, Trevor was on earlier. Ed did a stream from the Black Sea. I'm here now. So, yeah. Oh, right. Danish bacon. Good evening. A nice Sunday stream. Round off Sunday. Yeah, I'm working in the morning, so definitely won't be a late one tonight, guys. Marshall127, good day. Let's explore Bangkok. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. They are all standing in a row. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. Give them a twist, a flick of the wrist. That's what the showman said. Well, it's lucky I haven't had a beer before I read that one out. That's quite a mouthful there. Right, there we are. Get your handsome man, Asif Shaikh, is it? Evening, handsome. Hope you're all well, mate. Just had a barbecue, some beers, chilling. Yeah, I guess a few people will be having barbecues tonight. I can't smell any around here. Maybe it's too hot to have I can't imagine standing over an open flame now. I mean, I've just come from the garden to here, and I thought, well, I won't come in here till like 5 minutes before the stream. But actually, it's no different to out. It's hotter outside because the sun's still out. Let's explore Bangkok. Hi. Who else? Right, Ed Sweeney's 20-stone wife. She's a beauty, isn't she? Even though I hope the wife beater vest makes a return tonight. I was actually going to, I forgot to do it actually. What I was going to do, I was going to lay it on the table outside, pour water over it in the morning, put it in the chest freezer just out there. And then when people mention it, I was going to hold it frozen there, you know, keep me cool, but I forgot to do it. The background's outrageous. Right, Simon Goodson, is it? Hi, Peter. This 7 p.m. stream today would be better for me on a Friday as well. Well, the thing is, Simon, I do one every Friday at 9 p.m. And to be honest, mate, I wish it was 9 p.m. tonight, because at least by 9, it's starting to cool down. But this time of night, I mean, it's still blazing out there. But it's not too bad with the fans. It's not great, but it's not too bad. I can't turn them up. Leeds, good evening. Barry from EastEnders. All about you, isn't it, Simon? Barry from EastEnders, all about you. I don't watch EastEnders, so that's gone over my head. Right, then. I look forward to Friday. The Sunday stream is a nice surprise sometimes, but I do stuff Sundays. I vote for Friday myself. Yeah, because I'm still kind of trying to make my mind up. But we'll just look at the numbers. We'll see how it goes. Of course, you see, with YouTube, there is a kind of way it goes in waves, and we have quiet periods and busy periods. And for instance, on a really nice evening like today, 7 o'clock, you could be sitting in your garden with a beer, relaxing, doing whatever you do, so you have less people want to come inside and watch YouTube. Whereas in the winter, January, when Christmas and New Year is all over, it's miserable. Everybody's maxed out their credit cards. There's nothing to do. There's nothing on the telly, on the TV. And then 3:30, it gets dark and it's raining, it's howling outside. Well, then we're going to get good numbers on these videos and streams, because there's nothing else to do, is there? But, on a night like tonight, I've got 162 in. That's not bad. I don't know how it's going to go. Right. Okay. Lieutenant, I've seen you in Ed's stream. Lieutenant Columbo's glass eye. Ahoy, hoy. Yeah. Leeds, Will Smith. Yes, one could get lost in them. All right. I still don't know if that's a kind of serious comment he made, or he's joking. Right. Boohoo. Hello, gents. Yeah. Right. What are you saying, Damon? Right. Evening, Mr. Peter from hot, sunny Sussex, topping up my tan for LOS travels next month. Oh, yeah. You're off to Thailand next month, aren't you? God almighty, lovely stuff. Right. Now that Damon's been in the stream for 2 years, he's him and Franco, my oldest members. I don't mean they're the oldest people in the stream. I mean, they joined as a member right at the very beginning. Now, the thing is, Franco is the moderator in the background. You get some stupid people sometimes. They come in and say things. There was a guy in last week. He said something about my daughters and my wife. It doesn't really get to me, because when people go that far, they're absolutely just a cyber hater or a troll. So if they say something slightly offending, then you can get a bit offended. But when they go that deep into it, talking about, are your daughters available or something like that, that's absolutely not offensive. It's just rude. Now, the thing is, sometimes Franco's away, because I don't know if you know this, but Franco drives an articulated lorry, HGV1. And what he does, he drives all over the place. He drives the equipment for bands, mainly 80s and 90s bands. He was up in Scotland, Newcastle. He was abroad in Romania, funny enough, 2 weeks ago. So when he's away, obviously he can't he can't be in the back there watching out for these comments. So what I've done, I've given the baton, as it were, the green spanner. I've kind of shared it over to Damon. So Damon's now a moderator. So I've got Franco and Damon in the background. So hopefully, if one's not there, the other one will be there. And the reason I did that was because was it 2 weeks ago or last week? That guy who comes in, he's not just me, he comes on many streams and he's like, hot girl, sex, biggest this, biggest that. And he's just trying to promote his sex site. And he comes on as about 5 different users, and he's like, bang, 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 you block him and he's in with another one. He's like Mr. Spam. Well, when you're on your own, it's hard to keep those kind of guys at bay. So it's always good to have somebody in the background. Okay. Right. Gary Russell. Hi, Peter. Hope you're good. Have a good one tonight. Yeah. And something else I was talking to Franco today. I went for a meal with him at 4 o'clock down to our local high-class kebab shop. And we always do on a Sunday, except when he's away. And I didn't realize what Franco was saying to me. Sometimes I talk about comments, like I'll read a comment and discuss it, but it's half an hour old. And Franco says, you've got to, because the problem is I don't like to miss out people's comments. I go down each one, and as they roll in, I slow it down so that I don't miss anybody, because people get a bit offended if if they give you a comment, you miss it. They're like, oh, why are you ignoring my comments? But what Franco said to me today, he said, look, you've just got to say to guys, look, I'm going to miss a few because I've got to catch up. And like I'm talking now, and I'll be reading comments now, but I know I'm already probably 5-10 minutes behind. So if I get into the new way of doing things, I start skipping a few and it's important, just send it again and, hopefully it'll be read out. I know what it's like, because I used to be on people's streams. I was on Ed's stream before I had a YouTube channel. I'd send a message. He wouldn't read it out. Then I'd see he'd read one out kind of 2 under mine. I thought, well, hang on a minute. He's read that guy's out. Why hasn't he read mine out? He's jumped past mine, and you can get all paranoid about it. So, Right, okay. Franco says, Damien, good evening, fellow spanner. Right, Lewis89, hi. Charles Sanders, hello, Peter and everyone. Bob G, Bob, right, I recognise you now. That's the first time I've actually recognised you there. Bob's down in, I met Bob on the stream. He lives in London. He's got a very nice house. I'll give you his address in about 5 minutes with his sort code. Now, Bob's into, he's got some nice collections, actually. He collects rare whiskey bottles and miniature. He doesn't drink a lot himself, but he's got some very nice collections and a couple of nice cars. I don't want to give it too much away, but yeah, he's doing all right. So hopefully meet up with him in London. So I hope you enjoyed your car show today, Bob. And yeah, no more to be said on that. Right, Damien, Brian Street, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Let's try and catch up with some of these now. Right, Keenock. Sawadi Peter and all the chat. We'll just get this out of the way really quickly because loads of people said last week, what does Keenock mean? What does Keenock mean? It basically means bird shit. So if you're ever in a bar in Pattaya and you're being a bit stingy or you've had one too many, you're insulting the girls and you hear one of them, you see one of them looking at you and talking to her friend and the two words Keenock comes out, then you know she's calling you bird shit. Very common in Thai. Knock obviously is a bird and key is, yeah, that one. Right, let's explore Bangkok. Yeah, I agree with that. Remember to hit the like button. Have we got any likes? Yeah, 49, not bad, not bad. Coming up for 200. Right, let's get down these. Right, Canary spreads his wings. Will it be as hot in Thailand when I go next month like it was today? Yeah, it will be hotter than today. You'll be close to 40 degrees, I should imagine. Oh, I think I've had this conversation with a few guys. We're not going to talk about the weather all night. You know, British, we love to talk about the weather. But I don't know what it is. Well, I think I know what it is. When you're in Bangkok, it's actually hotter than here, but you kind of get used to it quite quickly. And when you go out, it's like, well, yeah, it's hot. You know, you like to go in the aircon, but you don't get tired. It doesn't wear you down, not as much. But in England, because we live in it is a cold climate, the UK. And when we get a streak of hot weather, like we're having this week, a really hot weather, everyone I know, it just knocks them out. It just, you know, they just can't do anything. It feels like Franco said to me today, I think I might have COVID. He hasn't. It's this weather. And even me, I woke up on the couch an hour ago and it's like, oh, you know, I've just had a quick shower. I'm going to have to take another one. But let's not complain about the good weather because we're always moaning about the rain in this country. Right. The fake head Sweeney. You should open a store on the website and sell T-shirts, etc. Yeah, Ed, thanks for the stuff you sent me over. I was going to write to you today. I got your email today about the comedian. I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it. Some of the stuff I watched, some I don't. Selling T-shirts. Yeah, I mean, I when I had that channel with Simon, we kind of had a go at it. I don't know. It's not really me selling T-shirts and bits and pieces because it brings a headache, doesn't it? You know, I didn't receive my T-shirt, but I can see my money's being cashed and all that. I'd rather concentrate on the videos, to be honest with you, but good to see you in. Jeff Fried Rice, Silver Fox, hey. Soda Pop Curtis, they could be the oldest members by age, perhaps. No, we have some very old, I have some very old people. That sounds derogatory. I've got guys who were in the American ex-military who write to me and they'll say, look, I was in Vietnam in 1969 as a foot soldier and we used to go to Petcherbury Road when we had R&R, and you think, well, hang on, 1969, you're in the army, so you must be, you know, and there's some pretty old guys coming to this. There's some young guys as well. That's nice. Right, Martin Ryder says it's hotter in London than Bangkok this week. Yeah, but we don't have I know we have a little bit of humidity, but over there it's stifling, isn't it? And we're not geared up for it like that. Everywhere's got even the aircon, even the 7-Eleven. The times I've been out and about in Bangkok and I've walked into a 7-Eleven and that cold air's hit me like a brick. And it's almost like better than going for a soapy massage. So I've been told. Right, right. Mark Marsola, is it? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Please, I will give you a super chat if you do. Tell the dog licking story. It's hilarious. Dog licking story. I can't remember that. I don't need. I mean, you don't have to give me a super chat, but I'll just tell it if I can. Give you a super chat if you do. Tell the dog licking story. I can't remember which one that is. You got any more clues on that one? Dog licking story. No, I don't know what that is. Right, let me just do a couple of shout outs because somebody's been trying for a few weeks. And this is a real name. I want to say, I can't remember the guy who left the message, but he left it before the stream started. And he said, I've tried for 5 weeks in a row to get a shout out for Nat. And that is her real name. So I'm going to give a shout out to Nat. Nat, hi, this is for you. Shout out. And I also want to say hi to Noel. Noel, apologies, I haven't been writing lengthy emails to you, but I'm so busy at the moment with the channel, you know, the stories, and you wouldn't believe the amount of emails I get in a day. And I'm the sort of person, I answer every single message, and I do mean everyone. You know, I'll get messages from a lot of viewers, and however busy I even if it's just one line, I write to them back. So Noel, if you write to me occasionally and I write a couple of words or just one liner, sometimes I might not write back, I might miss it. Don't get offended. You know, it's a full-time job running this channel now. Right, and Nat, hi again. Right, okay. Colin Moore, Canary. Okay, you're talking to someone else. Let's have a look. Okay, well, that's good. I don't think he did either, but you never know. Lee says, I don't think Will Smith meant anything bad about the thumbnail. No, because the way he said it, if he meant something bad, he would have said it in a more kind of serious way. It was kind of, yeah, I don't think he said anything bad. I'm certainly not worried about it anyway. Okay, I don't understand that one. Jeff Fried Rice says, extra security. I like it. Yeah, not sure about that one, unless it's something I just mentioned. Yeah, Asef, I do, mate. I do block them when they do, but you know, you have to see the comment before you block them. And you know, when I'm reading, especially when I've getting a lot of comments in, it's impossible to read them and then think, yeah, that one's okay, I'll put it up. I don't. I just take a chance. I just hit it, and then sometimes I read it and then I see it's bad and I take it off again. Right, Black Bolt says being sarcastic. I don't know if he was. I'm not sure, but anyway, let's move on from that. Anyway, okay, Real Dad TV. Hello, Peter. Have you watched Hunting Hitler? Yeah, I have. It's in a lot of series by that American guy, isn't it? I think that's kind of like all conspiracy. I'm not really. I do like World War II documentaries and stuff, but that Hunting Hitler, I think they're just kind of dragging it out. It wasn't. I couldn't really get into it. Right, Dave Andrew. Hi, Dave Andrew says, hi, Peter. Had booked to go Chiang Mai and Pai, then Nong Khai. I cancel. Back to Koh Chang again in September. Happy days. Why did you cancel, Dave? Oh, this is another drink. Oh, I didn't drink at this time of night. I'm so dehydrated. And on Friday, I did a live stream. It was 4 hours and 20 minutes. When I looked at the last hour, last half an hour, 40 minutes, I was actually slurring. And I thought, I don't want to be known as one of those sort of people. So I'll have to try and keep that under control. Okay. Super nice. Just realized I watched a several-week-old live with you and thought it was today. Oh, really? Okay. Real Space Hobo. You reckon Brits are more gullible than other foreigners when it comes to bar girl scams, and if so, why? No, I don't. Absolutely not. And I'm not just saying that because I'm English. Anybody, it's not where you're from that makes you gullible, and it doesn't mean that you are gullible. It's just that they are very good at what they do, and you might go out, you might be a switched on guy, you're streetwise. Some things are obvious, but they're very, very good at what they do. And the thing is, they're very persuasive, and it's the way they talk to you and come over. No, I don't think there's any one particular country where guys are thicker than, not as clever as others who get scammed. It's a more trusting. I would say the guys who are less experienced, but I've always said once bitten, twice shy. I know a lot of guys who would never ever get scammed now, but they did get scammed. It might have been on a small scale, but even I've been kind of scammed. I haven't been scammed in a big way, but little things. Like, I'll give you an example. In the early days, I'd be putting bills in my pot and I just paid it. And looking back on it, I know I must have paid for drinks I didn't have, but it's live and learn. I've got my stripes now, as they say. Right, okay. 404 Bad Gateway. Hi, Peter. I'm looking out to Pattaya in September for my first visit. Am I too old for Golga bars? Nobody's too old for Golga bars. If you've got a wallet and it's got cash in it, you can be 150. Well done to you. No. I mean, look, if you're going out to Thailand for the first time and you're going out for that kind of thing, you know what I mean? You're going out to drink and have female company, that sort of thing. There's no better place in the world for a first-time visit if Pattaya. I don't know if you're going out on your own. It doesn't matter if you are. You won't be lonely. Just flick the sensible switch when you're there and, watch a few of these videos on bar girl scams and just remember them because they're real. But no, you're definitely not too old. I've seen, and this is not once, and other guys well, they can't get in the stream, but I'm sure they'll all tell you. I've been in Pattaya and I've seen a guy several times, not once, in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair and his bar girl girlfriend is pushing him, then jumping on the back and riding with him down hills, So, you got cash in your pocket, you're good. Everybody's good. Right. Gary B71. Hi, Peter. I was in Krakow at the end of June. I visited Auschwitz and Auschwitz-Birkenau, which were both very emotional, both incredible, educational. Yeah, they've got to keep they should never get rid of them because they're a testament to what human beings can do. I visited one in Germany. I can't remember the name of it, but I then went to the killing fields in Cambodia as well. And it was interesting, but I wouldn't say it was the best kind of holiday of my life. Right, Stanley Stewart. Men, I think that has never had a girlfriend or never had the attention from women get sucked in quick. I don't agree with that because I would say guys who have never, well, I wouldn't say never had a girlfriend. Is there anybody who's never had a girlfriend? But you'll find a lot of guys who get sucked into these bar girl kind of stories. A lot of them are coming out of messy divorces and they're actually emotional wrecks, a lot of them. I've witnessed it myself. It's very easy to judge and condemn. Some guys are a bit stupid. I'll be honest with you. They're not, I've met guys who, they haven't got the sense to come in out the rain. But a lot of guys, they have problems in their own country and they think by going to Thailand, they can leave their problems at home. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you've got problems in your own country, and you come to Thailand, you're going to bring them problems with you. And a lot of guys come out of some very, very bad marriages. The wife gets the kids, the wife gets a lot of the money. They go out to Thailand, they fall in the arms of a pretty girl who's very sympathetic and says everything that they want to hear. And before long, the guy's kind of falling in love, and it can be a downward spiral from there. I don't tend to judge people myself because I've never been in that situation. Well, I might be in the future. Me and my wife are separating, but I'd like to think now that I've got enough experience that it isn't going to happen to me. And if it does, I hope somebody smacks me in the head with a baseball bat to get me out of it. Right, Mark Hewitt. That's a bit depressing subject. Mark Hewitt. Hello, Peter. Hello. Oh, nice to see you in the stream. Nice, Mark, live. I know you missed some of them. Okay, Stanley Stewart. Any age goes. That's why it's called a go-go bar. Exactly. I mean, look, you think about it logically, all right? You're going into an establishment. You're going into a go-go bar or a bar or whatever it is. What are they selling? What is the product they're selling? Okay, they're there for one reason. It's all nice. It's all glitzy. It's all lights, but it's all been set up to get the money from your wallet into their tills, into their cash registers, right? Nothing wrong with that. They're entrepreneurial. Everything you see in front of you, it's not there because they want to make you happy. Well, they do want to make you happy, but the reason they want to make you happy and entertaining, they want to sell you beer, they want to sell you food, they want you to pay for the taxis, tuk-tuks, jet skis, the whole industry. Okay, so when you go into a go-go bar, it's run by people who know what they're doing, and believe me, they know what they're doing. Okay, and all those girls on stage, they're there for a reason, right? They're not there. It's not a charity. They're not there to just to entertain you. It's a business. Okay, so like this guy says, where I lost him. Basically, it's a go-go bar. Anything goes. I mean, you're not going to get turned down. But I will be honest with you, though. I have talking to girls before, and obviously, certain girls prefer certain sort of guys, and you might think that all those girls prefer young bucks, right? But a lot of them don't. And I've asked girls. I said, "Come on, you all say that. You all say you like old men. You don't like young men. That's a load of bullshit." I mean, how would you prefer an older guy to a younger guy? You're 23, maybe 24. You're telling me you prefer a 50-year-old guy to a 25-year-old guy. And a lot of them, it's because they do this every day. What they've said to me, they said, yeah, because, the young guy, he's at it all night. It's hard to get money out of him. And he'll start saying things like, well, in my country, I've never paid for a girl. Why should I pay for one now? Whereas the older guy, he knows the score, doesn't he? So he'll be polite, pay the bar, take it back. Some of them don't even bother. They just want a bit of company, someone to put their arms around. It's true. And in the morning, they pay up. There's no problems. And that's why a lot of them do prefer older guys, not because they find them more attractive, just because it's less hassle for them. It's a job at the end of the day, isn't it? And, if they can make their life easier, then it's better for them. Hello, Clive. I wondered where you were, McLaren F1. Right. Thank you for skipping my comment. I hope we can patch up our relationship. Marriage hard, work out, laugh out loud. Did I don't know. There's a joke in there somewhere, Clive, right? Okay, Jason Finch, Peter, when all the girls come back to Pattaya, there's a few articles about that now, because I read, I've read recently, some guy left a comment somewhere, it could have been on Facebook, one of these Pattaya groups, and he said, I've just come back from Pattaya and it was all old boilers there. He said, where are all the young girls? And to anybody who's watching this for the first time who isn't a Mongo, when we say young girls, we're talking like 23, 24, 25. We're old guys. That's young to us, right? We're not talking anything illegal or anything like that. I don't know. They're all doing this. A lot of them now, they're doing this Friends. What's it called? The website where they can make money. God, I can't even remember the name of it. But they're on, they're doing things on the web, aren't they? And they've got their own payment gateways. And, some girls are making a lot of money. And why would they want to come back and speak to sweaty old foreigners and dance around a slippery pole all night when they can sit in the, the relatively comfort of their room with a nice ice cold drink next to them and just talk to a camera? I'm talking to a camera, but they do it and they make lots of money. So, I think we'll have to see. It's just starting to get back to normal, isn't it? Okay. Shouting from the sky, guys want to be a hero like in Dragon Quest. All right. Okay, that's strange. Canary spreads his wings, says, yes, Peter, I never had a girlfriend. I don't know what to say about that, because whatever I say will sound a bit kind of condescending. So I really would like to know why you've never had a girlfriend. There must be some reason behind it, but perhaps here is not the place to discuss it. Who knows? We might meet up in Thailand. You can tell me all about it, or you can tell me to mind my own business. Okay. Kev Mac, everyone gets scammed one way. I got charged 500 baht for a bag of 25 baht fruit on my second day, the first time I went. You live and learn, don't you? You can't blame them for doing it, can you? I mean, look at taxi drivers here in the UK. If they can, not just taxi drivers, if you get I won't name a country, but if a taxi driver picks up somebody in London and he knows the fare's £12 for an English guy, and the Japanese guy gets in, he hasn't got a clue, and he thinks he can get away with charging him 20, 30, 40, he's going to do it, isn't he? It's just common nature. So it's up to you to learn to not get scammed, if that makes sense, so that you're in the control seat, not them, because they are going to try it on, aren't they? Not all, but some. Right, yours travels. You're just back then, are you? My trip is obviously November. Was looking at maybe a cheeky week in Thailand or Vietnam, but absolutely no chance. 1,500 cheapest flights, and I've checked every flight. It's bad. Yeah. I've now booked my flight for October. I'm finishing my little job next week. About 9 more days I've got on it now. And I was hoping to get out there in August for a couple of weeks, a month maybe. I couldn't get a good flight, like you just said. Who was it? Yours Travels. They weren't quite coming up at £1,500, but they were coming up quite expensive. And I just couldn't get a flight. I mean, I like to go out on a Sunday. I tried Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lunchtime, dinner time. But Andrew Hammond actually wrote to me. I told you this on Friday, and he said, look, I've booked a flight with Eva Air in October. It was £630 or £35. I went and had a look the same day he's flying out. Yeah, it was 627, even less than him. But I actually booked on a Thai flight, which was 705, and I've got some insurance, which was another £63. But that's insurance where if something happened to me, I'd have to pay it and then claim it back. But I've got it anyway. And so I'm booked out first week in October. I'm looking forward to it. I'm counting down the days. It's still a long way off. We're in July now, so June, July, August. So I'm probably about 12 weeks, 13 weeks. Still a way off. But I now know that I've booked the ticket. I've booked the first 5 days in a nice hotel. So it's done now. It's booked. I've got my confirmation here. So it's just counting down the clock, isn't it? But if you're trying to get a ticket now, it's very difficult unless you ship £5 notes. You're going to pay for it. Right. Okay. I'll tell you what I thought about, because I wouldn't mind getting away as well. OnlyFans. Yeah. Yours Travels, OnlyFans. Thank you. I'll tell you what I thought about. I was looking at what Frankel said about the comments, me being behind. I'm going back now. Right. Okay. I'll whiz through these in a bit. I thought about doing a trip to somewhere like Spain or, just somewhere local like Ed's doing, and not so much for making videos, just to get away, because I'm a bit fed up. I've been going through a lot of stress in my life at the moment with what's going on. And I felt like just going away for a week or two. But then on the other hand, I thought, well, if I do, I'm going to have less money for Thailand. So I'll hang on in there. I'll take up jogging or something instead. Right. Jen's Cruise, is it? Planning for a hill. Let me put it up. Planning for a Hua Hin trip in 2022. I've only been to Pattaya earlier. Is there any evening action over there, or shall I go to Pattaya again? 7 years since my last visit. I would say if you're looking for like hardcore action, go back to Pattaya. Don't go to Hua Hin. Hua Hin is good. I like Hua Hin. It's good. It's good for older guys. There's no go-go bars, and it's nothing like Pattaya. It's totally different. It's a nice town. It's a beach town. They've got some good hotels, some good budget hotels, plenty of restaurants. You can rent a motorbike. There's a couple of good malls. They've got 2 or 3 good streets of bars, lots of bars with girls in them. But there's a palace there, so they don't have go-go bars. But then you don't have all the sort of bad people that you get in Pattaya. All the scammers, boiler room, thugs, gangsters, all them sort of people, because they are there from all around the world in Pattaya. Pattaya attracts all sorts. So for me, I would say if you're not sure, maybe do a trip for a few days. Don't book any hotels for long term. Maybe go for 2 nights, 3 nights, and then you can make up your mind, can't you? It suits me, but it might not suit everybody. Okay, let's have a look. Yours Travis said, so might end up doing a Sweeney and doing a Romania. Yeah, it doesn't really appeal to me, Romania. Right, Hard Tulip says, are you an Aries, Peter? I am Hard Tulip. Good. You obviously know something I don't know. Tell me how you know that. All right. But you were leaving a few weird comments last week. So if you write something like you talk too much or something like that, I won't display it. Right. Key knock again. As a Pattaya veteran, my top tip for every monger is pay as you go and change your girl daily. Just enjoy yourself and keep it real. Yeah, I mean, I agree with half that. You don't have to change the girl daily. If you meet a girl and you like her and you want to spend a week, I know they've got the 3-day rule and all that, but if you're not stupid and you take a girl out and you want to go to an island for 5 days or something like that, yeah, absolutely. Don't pay in advance. It's not about losing your money, but you change your mind, don't you? I've seen guys go to Pattaya for 2 weeks. On the second night, the bar finder go and thought, yeah, I like her. And I've gone back to the bar and paid for 2 weeks. And on day 4, they're bored with a girl. So they've let her go. But of course, they never get that 2 weeks bar money back. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the flights are expensive at the moment. Yeah, that's a picture in the background there. So let me put some nice ladies up. Not too risque because it's early, but I'll just put these up there. They're not bar girls. They're just regular girls in a nightclub, but makes a change from Soy 4. We'll get a bit racier later. Okay. Black Bolt says men have lost their minds over women since Samson and Delilah. It's human nature, isn't it? We're humans. I missed that one. That's Martin Ryder. Oh, that's a bit disturbing. Arranging a hanky-panky for her son. Who was that? All right. Right. David Alexander. Hi, Peter. Enjoying the live stream as always. Heading to Hua Hin from Bangkok, September. What do you think is the best way to get down there? Cheers, Dave from Glasgow. You can get a blue bus, air-conditioned bus. You can go to Victory Monument or Egamine. You can get a Toyota minibus. I think it's 180 baht. If you're not short of cash, taxi 2,000 baht. It'll take you about 3.5 hours to get down there. Right, I'm going to fly past these comments and get some of the new ones up. Oh, there's a super chat there. Who's that from? Angels. Did I say hi already, Franco? I don't know if I did. No, I didn't. I'll put that up there. Right, Angels Cabell. Thank you. You seem to do that every week now, so I'll be paying tax on this soon when I'm on. Like it's almost like a payroll. Thank you. Okay, so Kasia said, even if you choose not to live in Hua Hin, I would like to see it featured on your channel. I would also be curious in places like Cambodia and Vietnam. Well, when I go, I've actually got a bit of a road trip planned with somebody in, when I go over there in, when did I say I was going? October, I forgot what I was going over. What I plan to do is go down to Hua Hin, rent a motorbike. I plan to do some some filming in Hua Hin just to show you guys what's there. And then I'm going to do a bike trip from, say, Hua Hin to Cha'am, which is a beautiful beach town. Probably spend a couple of days there and do some filming. Just, it's good to see what's there. I know other people have done it, but everybody's got their own style. I've got my own way of doing things. And, I do intend to do that. And then when I live there, obviously, I know there's people already who have gone to the Philippines and Vietnam, just have a change of content. And I'll probably do something similar to that. I've got a different age group watches my channel to the guys. I think you know who I'm talking about. They're kind of 30, 35. It's a different, different age group, isn't it? Okay, very clever there, JB. Very clever comment. Okay. Sarji says, where else can I get a massage as an alternative to Thailand and Vietnam? You can come here to where I live. They've got 2 of them now here. It's, I believe it's £40 for the massage and £50 for the rest. They're everywhere now, all over the UK. Used to just be like London and Manchester, but they're kind of infiltrating every small town across the UK. It's a takeover bid. Takeover by massage. Right. D-Rock 7977. January is a good one. The cold months warmer. Yeah, January's nice. When I was there in December, it was only 28 degrees. And the difference is that when you go out in the evening, you can sit in a bar outside and have a drink, and it's not sweltering. It's not cool, but it's comfortable. Like I said before, Bangkok's got the reputation of being the hottest city in the world, simply because it doesn't cool down in the evening. Other cities are just as hot in the day, but in the evening they come down, they cool down. Bangkok never does. It stays. It keeps that temperature. Okay, Soda Pop says, our places stayed open later than 2 a.m. now in the entertainment zones. Well, by law, 2 a.m. is the official closing time. And the boys in brown, you'll see them at 2 o'clock in the big areas like Nana Plaza or Soy Cowboy around Soy 5/1. Or, you'll see them making sure everybody's closed. I think it's a little bit more easy going in somewhere like Pattaya. I've never known anybody to have a problem finding somewhere to get a drink after 2 o'clock in Thailand. You'll always get a drink. Even on Buddhist holidays, where even when 7-Eleven isn't, when I was in Hua Hin, I know a little mom and pop shop. I can go in on any day of the week, 24/7, whatever holiday it is, and they'll serve me alcohol. I'm not going to mention where it is here because you never know who's watching. Okay, Martin Ryder, Saudi air is cheapest, but then you have to stop off, don't you? Right, okay. Spider 0064, where do you guys usually book flights? I've always booked direct with the airline, but looking around, you can save a few pounds booking third party and recommendations. Any of the booking sites, I tend to use Expedia just because I've used them for years. Netflights, Sky Scanner, they're all pretty much the same. Some people swear that if you go directly to the company, direct to the airline, then obviously it's cheaper. But I find it easier to book on these kind of, let me just see what Frank will say. Franco De Rosa, people are asking about the house sale. How did it go? And 404 bad game, who wants to know if you take a girl out of the bar for 3 nights, do you have to 3 bar? Right, the third one's the easiest. Yeah, if you it doesn't matter how many nights you take the girl out of the bar, the girl out of the bar, the bar out of the girl. It doesn't matter how many. If you go into a go-go bar or a beer bar, it doesn't matter. You got to pay every day the bar. Now you might be able to do a deal with a girl. If the girl says, well, you need to pay £1,500 to me for my company or 2,000, whatever she wants, and you're going to take her for a week, you can say to her, well, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you for a week, guaranteed, but I'm only paying 1,000 baht a day, but I'll pay all your drinks and everything. We'll have a nice time. Take you to the island, buy a t-shirt, maybe a little pair of shoes, something like that. But I'm only paying you. Some of them will say, yeah, you just got to do the deal. What was the other question, Frank? I've gone off that. Now, where are we? The house sale still not sold. I did another viewing on Saturday, but the problem is you don't know, because when they come round, they all make the right noises. They all say, oh yeah, it's lovely, it's neutral, it's this, it's that, but you don't know. Some people make a day out of it, don't they? They don't really want to move, or they like to go and look at other people's houses. There are people like that. The estate agents soon find out who they are, and they just basically don't entertain them. But you do get people, they make a day of it. What should we do today? Shall we go shopping? No, let's go house viewing. No, I had a family round on Sunday, and I hate it because I don't hate doing the viewing, but what it is, because my wife works, I've got to spend 2 hours like polishing the glass in the bathrooms, vacuuming, polishing the tables, everything that's lying around, putting in bags and stuffing it into cupboards so that when they come round, it looks neutral. There's none of our personal things around, and it makes the house look bigger. So they came round on Saturday. They made all the right noises, but you don't know. The estate agent might call me tomorrow and say they've made an offer. She might say, well, we never heard back from them. It's just an endless stream of people looking at your house. And, you know, they came with kids on Saturday, and, you know, it's not a nice feeling when you know people are running around your bedrooms and all the rest of it, but that's how you sell houses, isn't it? Okay. I've just seen it there now, Franco. Sometimes I pick it up on the other screen quicker than I do here. I'm going to tell people this, Franco. Franco said to me today, because, you know, when you do live streams, you always want to know how many people you're getting in, how many people other people are getting in. Not because it's a competition, but it gauges, you know, the time of year, what people are doing. If you're maybe getting a little bit lax in what you're doing, you know, you need to up your game as what it were. And, you know, I check and I think, oh, last Friday I had this many. That's why I stopped doing the Ladyboy competition until really late now. Because like I said, as soon as I do the Ladyboy competition, I've kept it because a lot of people like it, but there's a lot of people don't like it. So what happens if I do it midstream, whoosh, 60 people gone, you know, and that's why I don't do it. But Franco, there's streams everywhere today. You know, Ed did one and Trevor did one. I think there was another one down there. But somebody, who was it now? Somebody sent me a message and said, oh, Trevor's doing a stream. He's got almost 500 people. And I thought, wow, what's he doing? That's really good. A Sunday afternoon, 500 people. So I thought I'll have a look. I went and looked at his stream. Of course, he was playing pool, wasn't he, with the bar girls? They had a competition. And of course, these girls are wearing hot pants. They look a bit like the thumbnail I had on at the beginning. So of course, yeah, that's gonna attract a large audience, isn't it? Rather than sitting there watching some old guy talking about airline tickets, you know. So yeah. Right, Stanley Stewart. Oh no, you're not Stanley Stewart. You're Javier Lopez. Hi, Peter. Do you have a daily budget when traveling to Thailand? I guess it's more difficult with you planning to stay out there 2 months. No, not really, because you know, I don't. I know you won't believe this, but I don't go with the ladies, right? And that's where because I've been married. I'm not saying I never will. I'm saying at the moment, right? But the thing is, that's where your budget will. I can see Damon smiling there and Franco as well, but it's true, honestly. No, look, if you go to Thailand, it depends what you go there for. If you're going there as a kind of you know, a normal, you know what I mean by a normal vacation, you can do it. You can still do it fairly cheap, but it's the ladies. Anything to do with the ladies. You know, you're paying ladies drinks, which are really expensive these days. You're paying bar fines. You're paying ladies for their company, and you do that on every day. You know, that soon sucks through the budget. Do I budget? I don't budget as in. I have a daily budget. I mustn't spend more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 baht a day. I don't budget like that. But what I do is when I book my air ticket, I tend to book the cheapest ticket I can find, as long as it's direct, because I don't like stopover flights. I tend to stay in nice budget hotels. And when I say nice budget, I'm not talking, I wouldn't book into a hotel just because it's the cheapest along Sukhumvit. It has to be reasonable price, but it has to be clean. That's what's important for me in a hotel is it has to be clean. It has to be safe. It doesn't have to have a safe in the room because they'll probably have them behind the desk. That's not a 100% necessity. But for me, a hotel has to be clean. It has to be safe. It has to be a good location. And so I'll budget, you know, a nice hotel. And then I'll just say to myself, do rough figures in my head. And I'll say, look, I'm going out for 2 months. How much do I need? I could probably get by on, I don't know, 2 months. I reckon I could do it on probably £3,000-4,000, maybe even £2,500. You know, it depends what you're doing. Because I tend to pay the hotel and everything before I go out there, although I haven't done that this time, just the first five nights. Right. I don't know. We got robbed riding back Hua Hin to Chatham back in 2008. Wife to be at the time with a bag snatch. Both was a bit of a mess and hospitalized. We got robbed riding back. Well, that's very unusual. You know, I don't know what time of the day or night it was. I don't know when you say you got robbed on the way back. I'm sure they didn't kind of stop you on the highway. Did you stop off to eat somewhere? You know, crime does happen in Thailand. It's no worse than in your own country. In fact, I would say it's worse probably in your own country. I feel safer in the UK than I do in Thailand. But it's not to say it'll never happen. But of course, it might happen. Right. Hi, Peter. Do you have a... Oh, you just read that. I'll tell you what I will give you. Here's a weird tip I'm going to give you. And I bet you haven't thought about this, right? But me being paranoid Pete, as my friends call me sometimes, here's one for you to think about. Right. Wouldn't it be horrible, the thought of checking into a little hotel and there's a hidden camera in the ceiling? So everything you do in that room is being recorded or watched by a Thai person just for their entertainment, right? Not very good, is it? A couple of tips. Okay, so you got to think about it. It is a real problem now. You can get cameras the size of a matchstick head virtually. You know, you could put a camera in the end of that and leave it somewhere, and you wouldn't think twice about it. You might think, oh, I found a pen, but you wouldn't think you found a camera. There is software on the internet that you can load onto your phone, and if you know those things on the roof, fire detectors. You know, if there's smoke, you know, they can be hidden in there. They can be hidden in anything that looks innocent around the room. You can actually get apps that if you point your phone at certain things, it will tell you if there's a camera in that thing, even though you can't see it. Air conditioner, you know, you've got the slots, there could be a camera in there. The most suspicious thing I'd say to watch out for is if you go into a room, and this is the number one suspicious thing, if you go into a room, then the fire detector is normally in the dead center of the ceiling. The bed is not normally in the middle of the room, is it? The dead center of the ceiling would be the end of the bed or 3/4 of the bed. So if you check into a hotel and the fire detector is right above the bed, in the middle of the bed, that's suspicious. And what's even more suspicious, if there's in the middle of the room, there's a ring where something was that's been removed and moved. You know what I mean? Okay, but I'm just being paranoid, but that's something you need to watch out for because you never know. Right, Nick Franco. There are apps that supposedly detect cameras and microphones. I heard aerobic activities are recorded. Isn't that a coincidence? I honestly hadn't seen I honestly hadn't read your comment, Nick. That I've just said what I said, and I've gone straight onto your comment. Amazing. Jamie, bugged rooms, yeah. Paul Hoskin, if they want to look at my hairy body, good luck to them. Right. Capio, how you doing, mate? Buffalo, laugh out loud, yeah. Right. Black Bolt says, you win the thumbnail contest. Yeah, they're nice to look at, aren't they? I mean, what do I put up there? If I put a thumbnail of the Grand Palace, you know, am I going to get the same crowd in there? Or if I do get those sort of people who like to look at the Grand Palace, they're going to be very disappointed, aren't they? So I just say it as it is. You know what I'm going to talk about. You know what we do in this stream, and might as well advertise it. Right, Jamie says too paranoid for me. That's fair enough. It's not for everyone. I'm not, you know, I'm not really paranoid, but I don't like the thought of somebody watching my every move in every state I'm in a room. When I'm in that room, I want it to be private, and it's got nothing to do with really being paranoid. It's just for that reason only. I don't like the idea of people watching me in my room. Right. Yeah, D-Rock says, damn, Peter, I never thought of that. And it does happen. It's a bigger problem than you think it is. Paul Pablo, hello, Peter. Yeah, hi, Paul. How you doing? Jamie, that's a great name. Jamie Opulence, is it? Opulence. Flight agitators are good to search for flights, then go direct to the airline's website and book directly. I don't personally like booking directly with the airline. I like to do it through one of the third-party sites. I don't know why, really. That's just me. I just find it more convenient. And again, if I've missed your comment, guys, write it again, because I'm trying to, as Franco said to me today, use him about half an hour behind in the stream. So I don't want to be talking about a comment that was left half an hour ago. So sometimes I'm going to try and do this a different way now and try and keep up with the latest comments. HK57, cheers, Peter. I hope you've been well. Well, I don't have COVID at the moment, so that's all good. And even if I did, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Franco had it last week. Christ, I'm not the bloody, I'm not the male version of a mama son. I don't know, Peter, when all the girls come back to Bangkok. No, I mean, they'll go wherever the money is. I'll tell you what's kind of, I'll tell you where a lot of the girls have gone to. A lot of the girls are actually now in the Middle East, where they weren't previously. That was a small thing, but I read a lot about what's going on in Thailand. I watch videos, and there are a lot of girls now, patio girls who worked in the bars, who have gone out to the Middle East. They're now based in the Middle East. They work in Thai massage shops in Qatar. There's a lot in Bahrain, actually. I read there was a lot in Bahrain. And these girls go out there and they're getting kind of 4,000 baht a pop. So, if you were in their shoes, think about it. You're in one shop, people come into you, 4,000 baht a time. Easy money, isn't it? 6 months out there and you come back and build your house in Isan. So whether they'll come back to work in patio, I don't know. Oh, that's horrible. Right, Stanley Stewart. Oh, I love the midnight snot cockroaches, yummy. That's one thing that puts me off a hotel. Two things I really hate about Thailand is the rats and the cockroaches. The rats are like bloody, they're huge things. I detest them. They're just filthy things. They are all over the place anyway, but I just can't stand them. Right, Mazza says, I'd pay good money for the hotel room video footage of my last holiday in Thailand. Yeah. Okay, you'd probably be your only fan though, Mazza. That's the problem. I tell you what, I was in it's years ago, and it wasn't in Bangkok. It was somewhere like, where was it now? It could have been Phuket, somewhere anyway. I went into this budget hotel and I came back at night, and the keys, they're all cards now, aren't they? But in those days, it was a physical key with a big wooden block on it. So you didn't want a big piece of wood. So the idea was when you lock your room and come down, you didn't want to carry this big chunky thing in your pocket. So there'd be a slot on the reception desk and you'd drop it in. There was something quite satisfying about actually dropping it into the slot, because it was a big heavy piece of wood and you're going out and you always held it. I always say that's the key's hanging here. I'd always hold it like that and drop it in. And I don't know what it was. It was very satisfying letting go of the wood and hearing it slide down, but I'm easily pleased. And I forgot what I was talking about now. Oh, that's it. Yeah. So I was in a hotel. It could have been Phuket, but I can't swear by it. And I had one of these big chunky keys and I put it in the slot. I went out for the night and it was kind of midweek. It was kind of not high season. And I came back and I stood at reception, and one reception staff, and I could see him there was a mirror at the end, and I could see him in his office. He was sat in an office, young guy, and he was eating a plate of rice and he didn't know I was there. And I was going to like ding, 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 ding the bell. I thought, I'll give him a minute because there's a mirror. He'll look up and he'll see me. And he did eventually, and jumped up. Oh, sorry, sir. And he gave me the key. But what the story's about, I was just stood there and watched him, and I thought, I'll give him a few minutes. I was looking around and I seen this rat in the lobby just walking along like it didn't have a care in the world, all along the side into the little restaurant they had, and it disappeared. I checked out the next day. I'm really, that's just me. I just can't stand them. Right, Keynote. Sometimes it's cheaper booking direct with the airlines rather than a third party. It was this trip with Eva, save £400. Well, that seems a lot of money to save. I mean, I can understand if you save £30, but 400. I've looked at airlines and I've looked at airline booking sites, and I've seen differences in prices, but nowhere near £400. It might be, I might look on one booking site and it's 660, and on another site it's 670, and on another site it's 645, but never a difference of 400. I mean, that is a lot of money. All right. Well, nearly 400 in. I'm surprised on a night like tonight. Okay. As I was saying to Ed, it's better to be safe than sorry. Loads of imposters everywhere. Are you talking about the people who come in with the same usernames like me and Ed? Right. D-Rock 777. The girls aren't treated well in the Middle East, though. Yeah, I mean, there is that element to it. I don't really want to delve into it too much for obvious reasons. But with them, it's about the money. They can take a lot, can't they, if they're getting paid well? Okay. Mark Hanley says, "Where's the Chang vest, Pete?" I don't have a Chang vest. Top 2 vests to be seen in Pattaya. If you want to be seen in all the best budget places, Fly Emirates or Chang. 3 actually. Fly Emirates, Chang, or Singa. Last week I had the I had the what do you call it? The fashionable one on, the black one. It was the wife beater vest on. No logos. No, I had it on all day, but I thought I'd make an effort and wear a t-shirt tonight because Ed Sweeney wrote to me today and said I read the comment out at the beginning. Right. Right, Dutch Frank says imposter alert. Right, have we got somebody in the stream? Damon, Franco, alert, battle stations. Have we got somebody in who's pretending he's somebody else? He shouldn't be. I haven't seen him myself. Right, Paul Chambers said, I guess the rat had already checked in. Yeah, long term, no discounts. Right, Dutch Frank, Paul all right, okay. Okay, Mark Hanley says, Ed had a proper troll on his channel this morning. Right, what are you saying, Franco? Thailandbound, people are asking about, oh, that's an old one. People are asking about the house. I've done that one. Let me just get rid of that. Right, I think we're up to steam. Yeah, I don't know. Ed seems to get a lot more than I do. I get the odd one on there, but most of the not I wouldn't say trolls, are kind of cyber haters or whatever. I get the I tend to get they tend to leave comments on my videos. You know, they'll tend to say things to me like I'm some kind of a corrupter of young girls or something like that. It's very I don't tend to get too many of them in the channel, but Ed seems to get quite a few for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, Carefree42 says it's actually the designer manga vest. Yeah, I don't even wear a vest when I'm in Thailand. I wear polo. Most of the time I wear polos. I like polo shirts with the collars. I've always liked them. Even I don't find them too hot generally, but obviously in here, no airflow, no windows. Okay. Black Bolt says, yeah, some crazy stories, unfortunately, Soda Pop. Did you like the story today about the lady boy, the second story? She was really on the take, wasn't she? I was surprised the guy couldn't see through it because it was so obvious. But then if he wasn't experienced, he said he was in love, but it was hardcore, wasn't it? You know, on the stories next Saturday, if you're a fan of the stories, something I've recorded the stories already for the members. They'll go up on Tuesday, but they go up on Saturday for everybody else. And what I've said, I've had to change the end music. I know a lot of people like, you know, that little 30-second segment where I've got the girl like this, don't forget to subscribe at the end of the stories. A lot of people like that, but I've had to change it. And I'll tell you why. I actually got pulled on some of the Thai songs by YouTube this week, 6 of the live streams. Do you remember when I used to do the Ladyboy competition, when I did a montage of 18 pictures and I'd say which numbers, there's 3 girls, which ones are they? And I had that really fast music going. And the company who owned that, I didn't think it was copyrighted because I got it from a place where I thought I could share. Luckily, I only put it on half a dozen streams. And YouTube wrote to me and said, well, you know, any revenue that comes off any of these videos are going to that owner of that song, or you can edit it out. So I had to go and edit them all out. Now, that other song, the song at the end of the stories, as far as I know, it's not copyrighted because I don't want to tell you where I get my music from, but I don't just download it from YouTube. But I'm actually, now I am being paranoid because that is on probably 200 videos of stories because in the early days, I used different music. So what I've done now, all the music I'm using, I love these old Thai tracks. I'm not worried so much about the song that plays me out of the streams because that's actually from the 60s because my Thai teacher translated it for me. You know, that real nice song at the end. And it's a real old song. And I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that. And it's on the end of a stream. But when you've got a song that's on 200 videos, you know, if YouTube come and get me and say it's copyrighted, I'm really going to have a problem. So what I've done, I've gone into YouTube's music library and they don't have any Thai music, obviously. I've gone in, I've got an appropriate song, which I think's okay with palm trees in the background. Now, I know when I start put out the stories next Saturday, people who don't hear me saying this, they're going to send comments, oh, why have you changed the music? And, you know, but I just can't take the risk anymore, guys. I've got to play hardball. It's taken me 3 years. I'm just about to hit 39K. I don't want to jeopardize it. You know, I've got to play by their rules, unfortunately, and they've been really strict. Like I say, 6 times they got me this week. Okay, FVDTV, lots of comments from you. Hello, guys. Hello, Peter, just logged on. Nice girls in the back picture. Yeah, they're regular girls, nightclub girls. They're not, you know. Right, Nick says, do a TB t-shirt, Peter, be a bit of fun. What's a TB t-shirt? TB, that's short for something. I haven't worked it out. But I've got to say thank you to, is it Reggae Vibes? Nice super chat there. You know you're doing a good job when you get a proper threat online. I don't know. Is it a threat, though? Are they, you know, they're... Ed Sweeney's, thanks for the super chat, by the way. And just I was just trying to think what I can say to that because some people actually come into the stream and say, oh, stop talking about trolls. It's so boring. We don't come here to hear that. But just really quickly, I'll just say in the early days, I was always offended. And it used to hurt me, actually, what they said, because I'm quite sensitive like that. But now it's kind of like, oh, yeah, sure, bye. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. Right, where are we? Ed Sweeney's 20 stone wife back in England. I'm being impersonated too. Okay, yeah. I know there's a fake Thailand bound out there because he went on Ed's channel and I just happened to be watching it and this, like, my logo came on Ed's channel and it said, oh, come on, you tight ass, or something like that. And Ed said, right, that's it, and he blocked it. So there are people, they do go out there and impersonate you, but I think YouTubers in general now, I think they're getting switched on to it now, and you can actually, you know, we get the same guys for the most part in the channel. And when you read comments, everybody writes their comments in a style. Like, let's take Paul Hoskins, for example. He always tells these jokes that kind of, they are a bit corny and they're always sexually orientated, right? But if he suddenly came in and left a comment about the the meaning of life, then I'd know it wasn't him, wouldn't I? Or canary spreads his wings. I know the sort of things you come out with. So it's quite easy now to detect the fakers, as it were. Okay, Martin Ryder. UAE jobs, Westerners are mangas, is it? Mangers? Filipino, Thai retail service industry, Indian or Pakistan are laborers. All right. Okay, nearly 400 in. If you've just joined us, good. Very hot Sunday evening, very stifling in here, but we're going with it. It's time for a beer soon, I think. Right, what's that say? Soda Pop Curtis. Stanley Stewart, Qatar isn't ready for the World Cup. Not sure how the girls are. I'm here. Well, I don't think it's anything to do with the World Cup, Soda Pop Curtis. The girls are actually in the Middle East because that's where their biggest earning potential is. They've had problems in Thailand. People aren't traveling, so they've actually gone out to the Middle East. A lot of them actually, and there are a lot of Thai massage shops all over the Middle East now. And, that's how it goes. Okay, I don't know anything about this. I'm just reading the comments. So it says, Martin Ryder says, I don't think Luke was a troll today on Eddie's stream, just an inappropriate comment. Yeah, sometimes you can actually, I've had that where actually recently, I now think it was a fake, a guy who came in and he really wound me up and I called him out on the stream, which I shouldn't have done really because I had no proof that it was him. I've spoken to Ed since and he's kind of persuaded me that it probably wasn't him. So of course, in retaliation, he went off and made this video about me called paranoid YouTuber, and I was threatening him. And you just say things when you're angry, don't you? I'm going to do this, or what, I wish I could meet up with this guy. When you get angry, you say things. It's like with your partner, you say things, the next day you go back to them and say, sorry about that, I didn't mean that, darling. People say things they don't mean, and I think we've maybe I don't know if it was him or it wasn't him, but we both got our knickers in a twist. And that's why I could have made a video called alcoholic drunk YouTuber can't take what he gives out, but then that wouldn't have been fair if it wasn't him. You know who I'm talking about, right? So I just left it, given the benefit of the doubt. He got his own back on me with that video. I could have gone in and done something else. I haven't. I've left it at that, and hopefully it'll just it'll cool down and disappear, hopefully. And it's a bit childish, isn't it, when you do this tit for tat retaliation? Mark, thank you, I appreciate that, Mark. Tenner, mate. Yeah, that'll get me 4 beers. Shall I have? It's a bit early. I will give it a little while longer. Damien making the most of his spanner tonight. Look there. You been out on your bike today, then, Damien? The Ducati. Damien's got a Ducati motorbike. It's worth more than my house. He won't like it. I've said that now. He'll tell me off tomorrow. Right. Pacemaker. Myself and many people I know have even had copyright claims on music we've made ourselves. Really? You got to be careful. You've got to be really, really careful. YouTube have got a policy, 3 strikes and you're out. But for some reason, they don't seem to give you a strike when you use somebody else's music. I mean, I've been caught out with music probably a dozen times over the last 3 years. And it wasn't like I was hoping I didn't get caught. I went to a site which kind of said to everyone, this is shared, it's not copyrighted, you can use it. And I even went back to YouTube and said, look, they said this, and they're like, well, no, it is copyrighted and you can't use it. But they haven't ever given me a strike. And I'm just wondering what you need to do to get a strike, because 3 strikes and your channel's gone. Did I say thank you to you, Citizen Mikey? You always do that. Thank you. Hi, Peter. Will you live stream as much when you move to Thailand? Oh, even more so, I think. It's a difficult one in Thailand because I'm going to have a beer soon. Look, that was full when I came in here an hour ago. Look. In answer to your question, let me take this down so you can see my handsome face. No, it's a difficult one because the thing is I've built up a crowd here in the UK. I do the streams every Friday. Sunday's just kind of a bit of an experiment. And what I did when I was there in December, because I wanted the stream to go out 9 p.m. UK time, which is my regular slot, everyone knows that. What I did, because of the time difference, I think it was 7 hours back then ahead, Thailand 7 hours ahead. what I did is I set the alarm clock for 3 a.m. Do you know how difficult it is getting up at 3 a.m. to do a live stream? Because I'm not a guy who goes to bed at 9 p.m. I mean, when I'm in Thailand, I go out drinking every night. You know, I enjoy myself. I sit in bars, play Connect Four, and you know everything else. So you know, I did make a bit of an effort where I tried to go to bed by midnight. But even so, you know, you wake up. I am getting to your question. I'm going a long way around it. But it is difficult. You set your clock for 3 o'clock in the morning. You get up and you're sitting on the edge of the bed. And you think, oh, I'm so tired. But, you know, by the time you've gone up, used the bathroom, made a cup of coffee, down that, you make a second one, get it all ready. Then you are ready for it. And then you finish the stream, you go back to bed. But I can't do that long term when I'm in Thailand. So I've got to try and find a day that's going to suit everybody. You know, it's going to be a difficult one. I think maybe Sunday at the moment. But I don't know. This is why I'm experimenting now, you know. Right. Keenock, thanks for keeping us entertained, Peter. Enjoy a 4-pack of Saint Etis. Am I getting it? I can never pronounce it. Saint Etienne. Chok D. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. I'll get a load of people telling me how to say it now. I get it every week. People say you say it like this and they break it down phonetically. I still can't say it. Right, Damien. Yes, I had a play on the bike today. Yeah, lovely couple of bikes Damien's got. Damien knows this. I was a big, well, I wouldn't say I was a big biker. But I've had motorbikes all my life as toys, not as a mode of transport. The first one I ever had, some of you guys might remember it. It was a Fizzer FS1E 50cc, classic tank on it, yellow, black stripes. You know, I had the Yamaha RD 250 2-stroke, went like shit off a shovel. And then I had a big gap with no bikes like you do when you get married and have bikes. I was overseas. And then I came back, and 20 years ago, I got myself a Suzuki 1400cc. Then I got a pan-European, and I got rid of them because I was actually frightening myself on them. Because when you're riding a motorbike that size, you know, you can virtually do sort of 50, 60 miles an hour in first gear. You know, they're frightening, you know, and it's not you, it's people pulling out, and you've only got one license. You don't have a motorbike license, a car license. You get speeding to, and there's cameras everywhere now, right? It's all about the money, honey, as they say. So I kind of gave it up. I think if I was staying in the UK, if I wasn't going back to Thailand to live full time, I think I would get another one, but I'd get something a little bit quirky, like maybe a 500cc Bullet, you know, the Indian bike, or the maybe a Vespa scooter, or you know, just something quirky so I could get out in the fresh air. I don't think I'd go big again. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. Okay, Paul says sounds like an oldie alternative. I want to just change this and put my favorite picture up that I had last week, which is that one, which I think is really nice. Adrian Smith, hi Adrian, how you doing? Taxi Talal, he's a known troublemaker, Peter. I've watched him beg. I won't say the name. I know who you mean. I'm sure everybody else does, and I've heard exactly the same thing. That's why when I thought it was him, I just let rip. That what you've just said is the tip of the iceberg. So I let rip and I said it all. And then he went off and made the video, didn't he? But like we said on Friday, what was funny about that was all the comments were in support of me. So he took the video down, blocked the comments and put it back up. So you can't see the comments anymore. MD, traveling to Thailand takes too long. Well, it's the Far East. It takes 12 hours direct from the UK. You think about the Americans. They can't do it in 12 hours direct. They have to go via Japan normally. I've been to America a few times, and it's no joke going from Thailand to America or America to Thailand. I flew into California a couple of times. Canada now, I don't know if this is a good option for some Americans. I doubt it because two different countries, isn't it? But Canada is doing a direct. I think it's. I can't remember which airline. If it's Thai Airways or one of the airlines is starting to do a direct flight from Canada to Bangkok. So that'll be good news for some people. Right, let's try and say hi to somebody we haven't said hello to tonight. Right, Michael Francis, I haven't said hello to you. Hi, Peter. Have you watched the story of motel owner, the Aurora, who spied on guests in... Yeah, I did. He had a motel, and he was in the roof all the time. He had a kind of walkway that he crawled along, and he looked in all the rooms. Bit of a pervert by all means. But to be honest with you, I didn't watch it all because I found it a bit boring in the end. It's a true story. But yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, I have watched it. I don't need the birds, Nick T. Fair enough. Okay. Chuck Woody requires it did 1,500 kilometers on a Honda Click. on my last trip. Do you know what? That's one thing I really like about Thailand, because for me, being on a bike, it doesn't have to be. I don't know why. When I go out and buy a motorbike, it's got to be the biggest thing you've ever got. 1400cc, pan-European. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's a little Caesar thing, I suppose. But I'm not sure. I don't know. But you know what I like about Thailand? I'm very, very happy to just rent a Honda Click or a Honda Vibe, especially in a place like Hua Hin, where it's not dangerous, as long as you keep off Sukhumvit Road. They're great, aren't they? Put your laundry on your side, and it's like in Thailand, or even in Pattaya. You go and have your lunch, you park up, go and take your laundry, go up and see the big Buddha. I mean, it's just nice, isn't it, being on a motorbike in Thailand in the warm weather? Love it, love it. Right. I don't know about that one. That's a different thought of things. It's Air Canada. All right. Thank you, Thomas. Air Canada to Thailand starts in December. Okay. And I'm very happy tonight that we're not having any technical issues, because if we were having technical issues, I would be having people say, oh, the sound's going, it's this, it's that. It's horrible, guys. When you set up a stream, like now, I'm not drinking, but I'm very comfortable to just talk, read your comments. It's very relaxing. It's a bit hot. I'll be honest with you, it's a bit hot and sticky in here. I've had a shower. I'm going to have another one after this. But it's nice to do a stream. It's relaxing. And when you start getting people saying, I can't hear it, the mic's cutting in and out, the picture's gone, this is that, and you're plugging things in and pulling things out, and then people leaving comments, it's silence is golden. I mean, it just kills it. It kills it for me. It takes me. That's why the stream went on for 4 hours and 20 minutes on Friday, because I couldn't get back into it. And by the time the third hour came and I'd had a few whiskeys, I got back into it. So I was enjoying it. That's why it went on so long. I bet I've slipped behind now. Thank you, Matt Jazz, is it? Thank you very much. Nice, handsome man there. Right. Okay, yeah. Chakwi, I don't know how. I'm just going to call you Chakwi. Chakwal. No, I'm not going to say that. You know what that means in Thai, what I've just said, don't you? I'm not going to repeat it. Northern Thailand is great for the motorbike trips. Yeah, I mean, Michael, my friend Michael in America, he rode all over Thailand. He rented it's his bike, I think. He's got a 250, and he went all over Thailand, had a great time. Chillax, when you have a Thai bank account, do you get the same rate in Thailand if you transfer money from a British account to the low British rate back home? Well, I wouldn't do it like that myself. What I would do, I would use Wise, because when you use Wise, it used to be called TransferWise, they don't actually change up the money. The problem is, when you transfer from bank to bank, in say England or America, wherever, to Thailand, what will happen is, first of all, you'll be charged for the service, right, from your bank for sending your money. They'll charge you for that service, right? And then secondly, you'll be charged an exchange rate by that bank. Okay, so now the money's on its way. It will be received by your bank in Thailand. And of course, that won't be for free. There will be a service charge. When you send money by Wise, they don't exchange the money, they change it. So somebody from Thailand coming to England, they need pound notes. Someone from England go to Thailand, they change the money, they charge you a small fee. If you want to send money to your Thai bank account, the best way to do it is to use Wise. Why am I saying that? Because I do it myself. Taxi Talal, a few oldie bees to cool you down so you don't put that vest back on. I thought that vest was gathering quite a fan club, Taxi Talal, but thank you, I appreciate that. And I'll tell you something else, Wise. I touched on this last Friday, but just in case you weren't in the stream on Friday, Wise actually do a debit card now, and it's brilliant, because how it works is, so you've got your Wise account, and then say you're going to Thailand, right? So you apply for it's so easy, you just do it online. There's no paperwork signed or anything, because you can't, it's not a credit card, so they'll give it to you anyway. So you go online, you apply for the debit card, they'll send you a physical debit card. It's a bit boring looking, it's green, but it is a debit card with a chip and pin on it. And what happens, so say you're going to Thailand, you can put £500 on it, it's 20,000 baht. I've got about £300 on it at the moment. I'm going to build it up. I'm going to get it up to 1,000. And what you do, that's your money. You've put that into your Wise account. It's sitting there. So you go out to Thailand. If for any reason whatsoever your card gets swallowed up, you lose a card, or just, I've got 4 cards, right? I'd have to be really unlucky. But just say something happened, I had no other way to get money out. Okay, firstly, I could, because I've got friends in Thailand, I can go on Wise and I can transfer to my bank account to their bank account. It's not bar girls, it's regular guys, right? Friends. So I could say, look, I've got a problem with my cards. Can I send 50,000 baht to your bank? I'd send it to him, he'd withdraw it and give it to me, okay? But not everybody can do that. So I've got a Wise debit card, and what you do is you load it up, you go into your Wise account, put £500, £1,000 on it. You don't have to spend it, you just keep it as a backup. Go out and have your vacation. If you ever need it, you put it into an ATM machine. You'll get charged like any other card, 220 baht for a withdrawal. So if you use it, use 20,000 baht, the maximum, or Bangkok Bank, I believe, is the only one at 30,000 baht. Doesn't matter what you take out, you'll be charged 220 baht, right? So you take this Wise as a backup. If anything happens, you've got that card. Now, hopefully nothing will happen. You come back to the UK or the States or Australia, wherever, and you think, well, I don't want to leave that £1,000 there because there's no interest on it. All you do is you withdraw that £1,000 back out to your original bank where you took it out from, leave your Wise card on 0. Next time you go to Thailand, do exactly the same thing. It's just a backup and it's great. And they don't overcharge you for it. Hi to Richard Renkama. How are you doing? That's a name and a half, isn't it? She had a hairy muff. I do like the hairy muff. You should be a salesman for Wise. Well, it's not about being a salesman for Wise. It's about giving people good information, isn't it? Because I've got a stream here. People go out to Thailand. I've got a lot of background with everything to do with Thailand. And if I came on here and give out rubbish information, people aren't going to, I nearly said tune in. That shows your age, doesn't it? It's about giving good information. And if I'm using it and I think it's a good service, I will share that with other people. And whether I'm a salesman for Wise or not, which I obviously am not a salesman for Wise, it is a very, very good service. I'm happy with it. I think it's a great service, and I want to share that with all you guys out there because I just think it's a good backup plan. Right. Keenock says, okay, is he talking to someone else? I've just seen you. Okay, you talk to someone else. Right, Charlie Stewart, right, 90% Coke, 1% vodka. Take you a long time to get drunk. Okay, let me just, right, Gary B71. Peter, the Wise debit card and app are superb. I used it in Krakow and the exchange rate is much better. Say no more, say no more. Right. Tony, go on Bangkok with a wife and mate in October. Your recommendation for a bar where there are plenty of women and interesting people to look at, but not too much harassment from the bar girls. Well, they're being friendly and they're working, so I wouldn't really call it harassment. You're not going to go into any go-go bar and not get approached, okay? Unless you're there with a sign that says, in Thai, don't speak to me. I'm the most unfriendliest person on the planet, and if you talk to me, you're likely to get a smack in the mouth. No, I mean, all joking aside, they'll come up to you and they'll shake your hand. Hello, where you from? You just tell them, we just come, we watch a show, maybe later, whatever. And they won't hassle you as such. But you've got to expect some contact because some guys would go in there. And if they didn't do that, they say, well, they're really unfriendly in Thailand. I went into a go-go bar, sat there with my friend and his girlfriend or whatever, and they didn't even come and say hello to us. So, they got to, don't worry about it. You can go, there's every place you go to, they're friendly. The Thais are friendly. Why do you think they call it the land of smiles? Right, Franco. Luxury vegan, ask again, and he's trying to answer everything and he's a bit behind. Please try again. Okay, let me see if I can see that. Who is it? Luxury vegan. No, can't see it. You got to remember, guys, there's so many chats coming in here. I can't if all I did was read the chat messages, every single one of them, I wouldn't talk about anything else. So some of them will be missed. Apologies, as I always say. Like Frankel says, write it again. I might pick it up. Right, Crypto Chris card, 220 baht is over a fiver and a rip-off. Get a Thai bank account. Yeah, I do hear you on that one, but you got to remember it's not easy for everybody who's only going to Thailand for 2 weeks holiday to set up a Thai bank account. And generally speaking, when I used to go there for a couple of weeks, I didn't mind because I'd only use a debit card as an emergency. And if I run low on money because I've been partying a little bit too much, I'd go to the ATM, take out 20,000 baht, 30,000 baht. If I only used half of it and I had 15,000 baht, I knew I was coming back to Thailand. So I've got 5,000 baht upstairs, because whatever baht I've got left, I don't change it up because I know I'm going back to Thailand. So, when I get back to Thailand, I want a SIM card, I want a taxi. Apple will be there waiting for me. I call up, come on, Apple, where are you? I get my SIM card. So I need Thai baht. So Don't worry about it. Barry from EastEnders, you should never hold on to more than 5% of your net worth in cash, always going down in value. Okay. Yeah, Asif, thank you, mate. You're telling me about the sound and the picture. That's good. Richard Ring Camper. I go in September to Thailand and found out if she have real alcohol. Okay, that relates to the other one, the 1% vodka. Okay, right. It's that time, guys. Taxi to Lao. I have a Wise card now. We'll take it this autumn. You can also go into a Thai bank account with your normal bank debit cards plus passport. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, actually. The reason people are always talking about the ATM machines is because you generally tend to, need money late at night when you're out. Let me just grab a cold one here. Oh, lovely. This will go. This won't stay too long. When you go out and you go to an ATM, a lot of people, they spend too much at night and they think, oh, I need a top up, and they'll go to an ATM. Oh, I still got water in it. Shit, only a little bit. But that's a good point. If you go into a bank in the daytime and, you take in what's on screen there, what Taxi Talal says, I can't read it because I'm pouring this. Yeah, it's right. They will give you money from your account and they won't charge you. It's only the actual ATMs that charge. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I tried to budget the water, just take a couple of sips at a time. Oh, I put it in the wrong glass. I put it in my water glass. That's why. Never mind. Right, let's put that back on ice. Oh, lovely. Right, cheers. First one of the night. Let's get rid of that. Some sound advice from Damon. Cheers, guys. Oh, that is nice. Sometimes you have a beer just for the sake of it. It's habit. You're going to bar, have a Heineken, whatever, and you drink it. Sometimes you don't even enjoy it, do you? But I tell you what, when you're sitting in a sweat box with no windows and no aircon like this, and I've been here for over nearly an hour and a half now, and you have your first beer, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Right. Glad to see so many in tonight. It's Sunday night, nearly 400 in. It's good. Nice to see you guys in. Good evening if you just joined us. Mark Poole. I thought Air Canada had direct flights to Bangkok from Vancouver. I can't find the direct flights on their site. I think you mean site. I think it's starting. I might be wrong and I will be corrected here, but from the news, I think they're starting 1st of September, I believe. I might be wrong, but I believe if you can't see them on their website, if you can't see that route on their website currently, it's because they're starting on the 1st of September. It's all over Google. Type it in, when do they start? You'll get the right information. Not sure about that one. Taxi driver told me Thai woman says, "Love me, love my dog." Yeah, they're probably just for fun. Probably just said that for fun. Right, Saji, Peter, I lost my Thai address. How can I transfer money? Anyone know? Well, you can only transfer money into a bank account, can't you? Or take it out of an ATM card. Unless I've read that wrong. Okay. Big Billy says, get a Revolt card, change money into whatever country, no extra charge. There's actually I can't remember the name of it. It begins with an M. I think it's called Mona, something like that. You can actually get a virtual card now to buy SIM cards and things. And I was going to do that, but it's the problem is you can only get a maximum of 7,000 baht, and that's like kids' money, isn't it? What are you going to do with that 7,000 baht? Yeah, Paul Shackleton, cheers. You read that? Okay, we're talking about the long flights now. New York to Bangkok, about 20 hours with one layover. And if I'm guessing correctly, I believe that layover is in Japan. Yeah, God, well, let's do it again. Cheers, Mazza. The reason why I do the stream at 7 p.m., I actually prefer to do the later streams. And to be honest, when I started at 9 p.m. on Friday, I opened the door and I put the fans on full blast. They're on low now, so you wouldn't be able to hear me. I opened the doors and everything was open. I put one fan outside, blowing air in, and one blowing air, and it didn't make the slightest difference. But the reason I do the stream on a Sunday at 7 p.m., and I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, because I think 2 streams a week might be a bit too much long term. I keep doing this because my back's wet. Off track there. The reason why I do the stream at 7 p.m. on a Sunday is because I'm working tomorrow morning. I have to get up at 7 a.m. So I'll do a couple of hours and then we'll call it a night. And hopefully everyone's had a good chat on a Sunday night, and we can get back into Netflix. But yeah, it's really weird as well. I don't know about you guys, but I set the alarm clock, but I always have to go and switch it off when I'm in the bathroom. I never use it. I just naturally wake up before 7. Right, Boohoo. Where are we? No, where are you, Boohoo? Right, Toronto to Vancouver is the killer. Not cheap to fly domestically in Canada. Yeah, I mean, any long haul flight is a killer, isn't it? I mean, it's 12. It takes me from my house to going into the hotel in Bangkok is 18 hours with a direct flight if everything runs straight, you know. Keenock says Revolt has a limit of £200 ATM withdrawal on a basic card, and that isn't a lot, really, is it? It's 8,000 baht, so you're going to be charged. Did you say there's no charge? If there is a charge on the ATM, then you're paying over £5, $6, something like that. Yeah, that's a good point. MD says take $100 bills, not £20 dollar bills, and that's relevant for whatever country you come from. The higher the denomination note, the better rate you get. And also, you know this one, right? You're not newbies. Always take good quality notes. You know, any little rips, tears, mark, they won't exchange them. And that's another reason to use your ATM card. I remember one time I took £1,500, $1,500 for the Americans, about $1,800 US. I was only going for, I think, a couple of weeks, and I thought that's more than enough. And I got £50 notes. Went to the bank, get £50 notes, and this was before we had the plastic notes. And I ended up half of them, about not quite half, about £650. They gave me back because every time I give them 4 £50 notes, can't take that one, yes, can't take that one, yes, and they'd give me 2 of them back. And you know, I tried going around a few booths. Occasionally, I was lucky. But what happens is, instead of me having £1,500 holiday money, I've now got £800 holiday money because they won't accept the other one. So I had to use the ATM machine, and that's the kind of environment, that's the kind of time when you would have to use an ATM machine, which is a good backup. Mike, how you doing, you handsome man? Evening, Peter. Hope all is good with you. It is, Mike, but it is very, very hot. Good to see you in again. Brian, Sunday is good information. Stream all things. Cheers. Yeah, and that documentary we were talking about, Brian, it's sort of, yeah, by number 2, there was 3 in the series. It kind of got boring on the second one. I agree with you. I didn't watch it all. Right, Paul Buffalo 555. Sterling is plastic notes now, so less of an issue with tatty bills. Yeah, and that's exactly what I said. I did say before the plastic bills. So, but you still need to be vigilant, because even though they're plastic, they're not bulletproof. You get people try and mark notes just to be, you know, so they get bored and do it for something to do, don't they? Eugene Vincent. Are there withdrawal limits on the Wise card if using abroad? It's really high. It's like £1,500 a day. So I think you can go into I'm 99.9%. That's just in case somebody comes back. No, I'm pretty sure, because I do. I'll be honest with you guys. I've got a link in my description that if you click on it, then I get points. And if I get enough points, they might send me something, but hardly anyone's clicked on it. And that's not why I'm talking about it. I genuinely do believe in it. But in answer to your question, Eugene, I don't think there's a limit that would affect you. Like if you want to go and hire a Merc and pay in cash, you'd probably have a problem. But if you just want to take out 50,000 baht, I think you can, not 50. If you go to Bangkok Bank and you want to take 30,000 baht, I think you can do it on a Wise card. They do have limits. It's £1,500 a day on ATM withdrawals and £4,000 a day on cash spending. Anybody can afford to spend £4,000 a day every day are in a better position than me. That's not a problem I'd have. Digital Nomad. I can't believe Paul Hoskins was a troll all along. I'm disappointed because I thought he was a good guy. Well, the thing is, Digital Nomad, don't believe what you see, because it probably wasn't Paul Hoskins, because a lot of people are getting duplicated, and not literally. There isn't like 2 Thailand bands, 2 Peters running around. No, it's becoming a bit of a problem for people now. What's happening in the old days? If you had a YouTube, if somebody, say you went into a stream, you think, I don't like that guy for whatever reason, you just wrote, I don't like you for whatever reason. But they've got more sophisticated now. What people are doing, they're going into YouTube and they're duplicating people's names, because it's not like a website address where, you know, you try and register thailand-bound.com. You can't, because it's mine. You can register Thailand 123 bound or whatever you come up with. But my actual URL, that's unique to me, isn't it? Or whatever URL you own. But as far as YouTube go, you can register any. I can go and register Buzzin' Patty tomorrow, and I can say I'm Buzzin' Patty. I can register Ed Sweeney. Nothing stops me. So what you're saying about, I would be really, really surprised if Paul Hoskin was a troll, because he's been coming in here for 2 years. Yes, I'll agree his jokes aren't the best in the world. I will agree with that. But as far as a troll goes, I'd be very, very suspicious at that, because there are a lot of people out there duplicating sites, and Paul's jokes are not for everybody. They don't harm anybody. So I let him carry on. There's not a problem for me. But you might have another guy who irritates him for whatever reason, and he wants to, just get him banned off other people's YouTubes. Okay, I've got no proof of that, but there's a lot of it going around. The rookie cameraman, nice one, mate. Yeah, thank you. Okay, you're talking to someone else, actually, not me. So thank you for someone else. Leeds. I prefer to take cash abroad, but I think taking 10K to Thailand for a month, I won't feel safe. 10K for a month? I'm coming with you. I take cash to avoid the bank and ATM charges. What the hell do you spend 10K on in a month? I'll be honest with you, right? For me, if I go for a month and I have a real blowout, I can't do more than £3,000. I mean, I can't imagine spending £10,000 in a month, unless you're the sort of guy who goes into one of the big bars in Nana Plaza, rings a bell, and like 30 girls get a drink, all come and give you a hug and play with your coconuts for a while, and then you do it again. And yeah, I can understand it, but most guys I know, I mean, 3,000-4,000 for a month is more than enough. I'm not criticizing you. Well, fair play to you. I wish I could. That's a lot of money. Damon, only use an ATM that is part of the bank. Yeah, we've mentioned that quite a lot of times, because there are, it's a good point. We have mentioned it a lot of times, but try to use the ATMs that are attached to banks, because a lot of scam machines now, people come along and put things on them, and they tend to be in the touristy areas like LK Metro and, and not so much outside. You see 7-Elevens, they've got banks of ATM cards. They tend to be okay because they've got cameras. But I'll give you an example. Soy 4, right down the opposite end from Sukhumvit, there's some laundries, mum and pop laundries, and opposite the hotel estate. It's very, very dark at night, but they have like about 4 or 5 ATMs down there. There's no cameras, but we're just sitting there, and it would be very easy for someone to come along and attach things to it in the night, and then in the daytime they'd pick up all that information. So as Damien says, use the try to use an ATM that's attached to a bank. Like on the beach road, you've got the Bangkok Bank just before you get to Walking Street. If you're walking towards Walking Street, on your left, the same sort opposite the beach, you'll come across Bangkok Bank. There's a window there where they do exchange, and there's an ATM. Use that. It's safe as houses. Or another bank in one of the malls. Yeah, so Mazza says, I never seen Paul Hoskin trolling before. I think the little P is the real Paul Hoskin, and the big one is a fake one. Yeah, I'm not going to go on about this all night, but I tend to agree. I don't think Paul Hoskin is a troll. Right, Spider0064. Best thing I've done was open a Thai bank account now. Just transfer funds from the UK bank to Thai bank. Very wise. No need to worry about holding cash in the room. Need extra cash, just repeat. I'm actually going to open a bank account this time. I'll tell you how I get on. I've got a different way of doing it. I'm going to test the water. I think I'll be okay. And if it works out for me, I'll come back and I'll tell you what I did. And I think even as a tourist, you can open a bank account. It's worth doing, because as long as you keep a little bit of cash in it, you can use it every time you go. Hi, Mark Font 2. I never carry much cash. I have traveled all over, never had a problem with ATMs. You've never had a problem with ATMs, Mark, but it's a changing world. And unfortunately, this kind of crime is increasing. I've never had a problem. I had a problem with a card in a hotel once, which I won't repeat. I said that 2 weeks ago. But it's a changing world. You know, thieves are getting more sophisticated now, and it's just better to always think the worst, and that way you can tend to use the bank ATMs, things like that. Always better to kind of just what I'm trying to say. Not to be paranoid, but you work hard for your money. Don't let somebody else get their hands on it. Right, Paul Hoskin. I've never had a go at anyone, and I never will. And I believe you, Paul. I believe you. I don't think you'd do any trolling or anything like that. But don't worry about it, mate. Nobody's somebody. I've backed you up here because somebody. I'm nothing against the guy who said what he said, but I've just backed you up because I believe you, and I don't think you're a troll. And carry on with your bad jokes. I'll put them up, but don't expect me to laugh too much. Right, Mark again. I've just read that. Okay. Right, MD, I spent $4,000 in 30 days. That's about £3,000. That's not difficult to do. Is it about 3,000? It's 30. Yeah, we get about 42 baht to the pound. The US dollar, I think it's doing quite well now. I think it's 30 something. But yeah, that 3,000. You're on holiday, right? So $4,000 in a month. Yeah, pretty easy to do. Not outrageous. Oh, yeah, I like that. Look, 10K per month means he's a good guy, had good heart. Don't you just love those bar girl sayings? You know, him good heart, and always tap. They always do that, don't they? Him good heart, tap the wallet. You know. I've never had a good. Okay, that's right. All right, Danish bacon, Martin Ryder. The LB takes Adam's Apple Pay. I'll put that up. That's a mouthful there. Where is it? I've lost it. Somebody just put a. Oh, yeah. Gary. Peter, Joe, where do they send naughty rainbows? Prism. It's a light sentence. Yeah. All right. I get it now. Yeah. Somebody left a comment today. You know, the Joker told on Joke of the Week on Friday about the woman, she had a dream and they were auctioning dicks. Remember that joke? And the guy left a comment today. He said, I don't get it. What's the punchline? I actually wrote and explained it. So it probably wasn't a great joke. Donald Person, always look at the ATM where you put your card in. If something looks funny. Yeah, that I actually forget. I went, when I went for a meal. Franco and I went for I had the very luxurious cheeseburger and chips, and Franco went for the delectable mixed kebab when we went for a meal at 4 o'clock. But I had to go across the road and get some money out of the machine. I took my card out, Lloyd, stuck it in, bam, 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 £100. And Franco said to me, have you checked that machine? I said, no. And he's pulling all the bits like that. And I thought, yeah, he's right. I should have checked it. Right, Simon Lights, how would you spend 4,200 baht in one day? I could spend 4,200 baht in about a minute flat, honestly, 5 minutes maximum. Because all you do is you go into a go-go bar, big go-go bar, ring the bar, throw 100 baht notes. You can buy baskets of ping pong balls. You know about that, don't you? So if you go into a bar, it's quite clever if you haven't heard of this. So you go into a bar, you're sitting up on one of the stores, and you want to get a bit of attention for yourself. Look, girls, you know, here I am. You can actually buy a basket of ping pong balls. Okay, and this you can buy 500 baht, 1,000 baht, even 2,000 baht. And depending on how much you spend, you'll get the basket like that, full of ping pong balls or a bigger one. And you sit there, and each one of these ping pong balls represents 20 baht. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there, and you start lobbing these ping pong balls on stage, and it's like a feeding frenzy. It really is. It's a lot of fun. I've seen guys do it, and then you get the nutters who pick up the whole basket and just sling the lot, and they're screaming and shouting, and it's all about fun. And it's very easy to spend. Believe me, having something to spend your money on in Thailand is not a problem. You'll always find something. That's on a serious note. That's why a lot of guys come unstuck, because they do all their research in the UK or Australia, wherever. They get prices and think, I could do this for £800 for 15 days because I've got all my prices now. And then, of course, in reality, they get out there, see what's on offer, and that budget is bang, it's out the window. Right, Mr. Loy Katong, is it? No, I said that wrong. Mr. Lion King. How can a Canadian open a bank account in Thailand? You can. Leave that for now, because I'm going out there as a tourist, right? And I've got something up my sleeve. I think I'll be okay. Let me do it. I'll come back and I'll give you the full A to Z if it works, which I think it will. Nick T says Paul Hoskin for Prime Minister. I wouldn't go that far, Nick. We've been for a lot of bad jokes. Right. Okay, Asif. Good night, handsome man. Got to get up early for work. Yeah, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. Cashier says, if a Thai girl says you have a good heart, then you're being fleeced. Good heart, good mark, LOL. But they're good fun, aren't they? Thai girls are good fun. Okie dokie. Let's see. Who haven't we said hello to? Crypto Chris card. Leeds. That's okay. You're talking to Leeds. Wow. Does anybody use them anymore? First, Chillax, is it? First time I went to Thailand, I took traveler's check. That was back in 2011. I had a bad experience with traveler's checks. You know, I used to have a little business little sideline. What I used to do, I'd go to Thailand for 4 months. My budget was £10,000, right? So I'd go over to Thailand, and I used to buy, you know, Sampang, it's Chinatown. I used to buy everything to do with displaying jewelry. So, you know, the cardboard ring boxes, the nice velvet stands that you'd hang a chain on. You know, when you go to a seaside town, a beach town for the Americans, you have the little mom and pop shops, as Americans say, and what we would call the little touristy shops. and they sell like goth rings and secondhand gold necklaces and, you know, a lot of bric-a-brac. Well, you know, professional jewelry shops, they have them fitted out, don't they? But them kind of shops, they buy like half a dozen things to display chains and, you know, ring boxes. And I used to buy boxes of 60 mood rings. At the time, I used to pay something like, it worked out, I bought them for, I doubled my money basically, because I sold them on eBay for £40, a box of 60 rings. I forget what they cost me in Chinatown, but I used to air freight them. And the cost of the trip, the air freight and everything was half. So let's just say the whole thing to buy them, ship them, get them to my door was £20. I sold them for £40. The seller paid the postage. And I used to have a business where I'd go out to Thailand every sort of 2 months and just I'd spend 1 week buying all this. There was a shop that I used that was in Chinatown. I'd just pay for the gear. The shop owners would take it on them trolleys to where the packing place was. The Thais would pack it for me. It was half a ton. I'd leave on a Sunday. It would be air freighted on the Monday. It would be on my drive Wednesday morning. Now, your first question is probably why did you pack it in? The reason I packed it in is because the bottom fell out the market. They started selling all this stuff directly from China, and in the end, it would have been cheaper for me to buy this stuff on eBay rather than go out there and buy it. So it was a good little number while it lasted, but the bottom ran out of it. But that was a long way of getting back to the traveller's checks. What I was going to say, in those days, I did the same. So I'd buy £5,000 worth of American Express traveller's checks and put them in a cupboard somewhere hidden away. And then when I took the traveller's checks and I'd change up £500,000 at a time. And this one time I took them, and you know the adverts back then, you know, use American Express traveller's checks, feel safe. If you lose, you know, your traveller's checks, you can rest assured, you know, we'll replace them immediately. It's all smiles and handshakes and you won't have a problem. It isn't like that in real life, because I forgot my traveller's checks. And I phoned up, and the branch was in Ceylon in Bangkok. I literally begged them. I had to beg them, and they eventually gave me them. But what they said to me, they said, well, you need the numbers, you know, because, you know, we can't just replace them. We need the numbers of the checks that you forgot. And I'm like, come on. I said, look, how could I memorize the numbers? I don't write them down. I said, I put them in an envelope. I put them on the side of my kitchen. I come to Thailand. I spend them. I don't write down the numbers. You know, I mean, that's unreasonable. And in the end, I had to say, look, please, this is my business. Look how many American checks. I've been doing this for 8 months. I always spend this much. And in the end, I had to go down to Ceylon. I had to go to their office. It took me about 2 hours. I had to sign a declaration. I had to promise to phone up when I got back. And look, you know, fair play, I did get the traveller's check back, but it was a nightmare. Never again. And I think traveller's checks are a thing in the past. I can't imagine anybody using them. Okay, now I'll skip past a load of comments because I want to get down to some of the newer ones. Right. Mark Hanley, what you spend in a month depends on the status of the manga. Very true. I know a guy, I've met him recently. He lives in London. I think he's a fairly wealthy man. When he goes to Bangkok, he stays in a 5-star hotel. He's done a deal with a hotel. He's getting a decent rate, but it's still a 5-star hotel, and he'll still pay a lot more than what I pay in a budget hotel. You know, the kind of hotels I stay in, you get what's, you know, they do what it says on the can. They're clean. They have aircon. They have running water. They have a shower, hot shower. They're good enough for me. I go to the room to sleep and do the odd live stream. Okay. He stays in a 5-star hotel, and quite rightly, you know, your status of how much money you got really depends on what you'll spend, but you can have a good time on a budget. As long as you're not too tight. You know, at the end of the day, if you've got to go so tight, what's the point in going to Thailand, you know, if you're watching every penny? I once took a friend who'd never been to Thailand. I come back, he heard all the stories. He said, oh, please take me with you next time. So I took him. He was going into soapy massages and leaving 1,000 baht tip when the massage cost 800 baht. And he'd come out, oh, she's really happy. She's really happy. I gave her 30,000 baht. You should have seen the smile on her face. I'm like, yeah, give me 1,000 baht. You'll see the smile on my face. This guy ran out of money, and he spent the last night in his hotel room before we left. I didn't know at the time he'd run out of money, and he was saying to me, oh, I'm tired, you know, I'm jet lagged, I've been going out every night, I just want to have a peaceful night. If at the time he'd said to me, look, I've overspent, I've got no money, I'd have said, idiot, come on. And I bought him a few beers. I wouldn't have bought him a bar fine, but I took him out. And I would have paid for his drinks all night, okay, because I'm like that. But he didn't tell me. He just said, I'm tired and all the rest of it. And yeah, people can get caught out. Okay. Cashier, there used to be a receipt with the check numbers when brought travelers check, so long as you kept the receipts. Yeah, but I was very cavalier in those days. I didn't do sensible things. I go to the bank, I get the travelers checks, stick them in an envelope, and because they're in an envelope, I thought I'd done the right thing. I wouldn't sit there writing down numbers, and I don't even know if I got receipts. If I got receipts back then, I can't even remember. I certainly didn't. I certainly didn't look at them. I'm just. Yeah, could have had Monga rewards. What sort of rewards would they be? One of the things I've seen in Thailand that I really didn't like once, totally off the subject. Let me pour a beer. Sometimes you see things and they don't really gel with the sort of person you are. And people might not be doing things necessarily in a bad way. But I'll tell you an experience I had when I went into a bar in Nana Plaza years ago, and I witnessed something that was all innocent. It was all in good fun, but I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why. So I went into one of the go-go bars on the ground floor, and they're always trying to come up with new sneaky one. They're always trying to come up with new things. And I went into this particular go-go bar, and they had this girl on stage, and the manager, who spoke very, very good English. I won't tell you who he is because you probably know him. He's actually a Thai, but he lived in London for a while, and he actually got a Cockney accent. He's a Thai with a Cockney accent, and you speak to him, and it's kind of like it doesn't gel. It's like I don't know. But what they were doing, the sort of game they were playing, they decided that they'd auction a girl. So. Not auction. Let me try and think it through what they were doing. So he was on stage. All the lights were up. He was on stage with this girl in a bikini. He was holding her by the hand, and he said, "I forget what the game was, but you could win this girl for free. So you could take her out, no bar fine, and supposedly free." I mean, of course, anybody who did that tried to make that part of it free would be like not a great guy, right? But I seen that, and I didn't like that. I thought, here's this girl. She's come to work. She's not going to say no to her manager. It's her job at the end of the day. But to be paraded on stage, and she's like, it's an auction, and you could win this. That I didn't like. Thankfully, they don't do that too often. I just think, at the end of the day, they're people, aren't they? I'm not trying to be a white knight or an oversensitive guys, but they do what they do. That's fine. They want to do it. They choose to do it. No problems at all. But when I seen this girl lights up, she's been auctioned like a wild bull. I really didn't like it. Right. Let's have a look. Just needed to get that out of my system because I just thought of that. Number 5 looks like a vampire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, not a bad looking vampire though, is she? It's kind of hard to find these pictures a lot of time because you could go onto Google and just download pictures, but in 6 months' time, I'll get an email from YouTube saying that picture from 6 months ago is copyright, and you got to go in and edit it out and replace it. It's not worth it. Mark, I just checked, $100 a night, very clean, next to the mall, and great ocean view, also guest friendly. Well, there are deals out there, Mark, as you know. The thing is for me, I've always gone budget. They're fine for me. They're good hotels. Of course, I'd like to stay in a 5-star hotel. It'd be lovely. But what I always say, my justification, I always say to guys, if you're staying in a 5-star hotel and you're going to bring a guest with you to spend the evening, you know what I mean? Right? Remember, those 5-star hotels at night, they've got big marble floors. They're very, very echoey. And these girls, they all wear very high heels. You walk in, you try to be discreet at 3 o'clock in the morning. Few staff, there are a couple of girls behind reception, and all you can hear bellowing out with an echo is clip clop, clip clop, clip clop across the marble. It's not nice. You know what I mean? The thing with a budget hotel, it's like straight to the lift and away you go. So I've heard. Right, Canary spreads his wing again. First girl is the hottest. They're all nice, aren't they? They're all nice, and it's personal choice. Right, Paul. They could have a bar in the middle and some pole dancers. Okay. Javier, the problem is that it's very hard to content yourself. Pattaya is a fun city full of great places to hang out and lots of temptations out there. It's true, but the thing is, Javier, you can get bored of it very quickly. I lived in Pattaya for a few years, and the city gets smaller and smaller the longer you're there. And what you'll find, no, I was thinking about the whiskey, I won't have one. what you'll find, the guys who generally live there long time, they don't tend to have that kind of party lifestyle. Yes, they have a motorbike. A lot of them have got permanent girlfriends. The ones that haven't, you know, they'll do the beach. They've got a routine, and the bars they go to, they kind of go to their regular bars. That, you know, it's very rare that they go sort of partying. You can't if you live there. And Mark, number 2 is your favorite. I bet there's these girls on screen. I bet every single one of them is somebody's favorite. Oh. Right. My first Thai girl from Pat Pong in Bangkok was actually a guy. Shocking, but I had to see the funny side. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have fallen for that. Shane, how are you? Better late than never. How are you doing? What time is it where you are? It must be the middle of the night. You get up early, don't you? Terry Delve, good to see you, mate. Wouldn't kick any of them out of bed for eating crackers. No, absolutely. Dutch Farang, Shane is a legend. He knows things. He's a good guy, Shane. Had him on the stream twice now. Right, Paul Shackleton, in with a vengeance there. Good day, mate. Shane Traveller. Franco De Rosa, Thailand bound. People are asking, let's have a look. People are asking, what make of watch are you wearing? Right, I'll tell you what, I'll do this on Friday. My wife, she used to work in a jewellery shop, okay? And she got staff discounts. So she could buy, easy numbers, right? £100 piece of jewellery, she could get it for £30 if she said it was for her family, okay? Generous discount. So she's bought me some nice watches over the years. I've got some real nice watches. I have not Rolex. I forget the name of it. Is it Tag? She got me a Tag for my birthday. It's quite nice. But the thing is, in England, I wear cheap watches, right? And this watch, believe it or not, let me take it off. Have a guess how much this costs. You won't believe it. I'll make this a competition now, right? Because, you know, it's a fairly cheap watch, but have a guess. It's quite a nice watch. Look. Right, hang on. Right. What do you think I paid for that? And the reason I wear it, because I'm working in the garden and stuff. If I scratch it on the brickwork, I'll throw it away and get another one. What do you reckon I paid for that? You won't believe it. Probably lose you all. You'll all go off and buy one after this. I'll leave it for a while. Stick it back on. But I'll be honest with you, though, it still was cheap, but I bought 3 before I got one that worked right. The first one ran far too fast. The second one stopped after 10 minutes. This one I've had for about 3 months now. But I've got some nice watches. I just don't wear them in the UK. Paul Shackleton says £5. Not quite. I'll round it up, right? It was an exact price, but whoever gets the price, as in £20, £30, if you say £19.99 and it's £20, I'll say yes, all right? But how much do you think I paid for that? Nobody's got it right yet. Wow, it's like a real competition that's coming in now. Don't do bar. I bought it in the UK because I needed a watch. I wanted something cheap because I'm the sort of guy, I walk around the house, I scratch it on the wall, on the bricks and stuff. So some good, someone's very close, another £1 and they'd have it. But I'll leave it go for a minute just for fun. But you won't believe what I paid. I'm going to tell you now, like the nearest one to it was, where is he? The rookie cameraman. Believe it or not, guys, I actually paid £3.99 for this watch on eBay, and I got free postage with it. It's not a bad watch for £3.99, is it? Like I say, I've got watches upstairs that are over £1,000. They're real classy watches. I once owned a Rolex Presidential. It was an old one, but it was solid 18-karat gold. Used to wear that in Thailand. Sold it, financial problems a few years ago. But, you know, yeah, absolutely, Franco. He says this is the new Ladyboy watch comp. But you know, you can get stuff that looks okay, and people in England, they don't really care, do they? Especially where I live. Right. Soda Pop Kirkman, Tag is a good quality watch. I've got 3. A Formula 1. I think that's the one I've got. Formula 1. Carrera. Yeah, I think it's a Formula 1. It's got like the face of it's got like a shield in it with some coloured stripes in it. I've never actually wore it. Hey then, I wouldn't spend that much on a watch. A tenner, I could get 4 more beers for that. Yeah, Kev Mac. I don't know if you guessed that or you put that up after I told you the price, but that's what it was. Right, enough of my watch. Okay, Donald Person says, any place to go surfing in Thailand? That's by a good area with go. Do you know what? That's actually a question I don't know the answer to. I'm not going to give you BS. I don't know. There must be areas, they've got a lot of coastline. There must be somewhere, right? I mean, I don't know. Is there people in the stream who surf? And no, the bit about the girls, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter where you go. There's an oil refinery off 20 odd miles from Pattaya. You know, the sailors come in. They've got bars there to service them. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in Thailand. If there's, you know, golf course, surfing, whatever it is, there's always a few beer bars nearby. That's never going to be a problem. Yeah, absolutely. 4 cans. No, that's the wrong one. Where was it? I've lost it. 4 cans of beer anyway. Right, taxi to I want a Rolex, but I'm saving to retire early, so no chance. Okay. It's nice having a nice watch in Thailand because, you know, it's not like you're trying to show off, but people do kind of judge you up to a point. Well, I'll give you an example. In Thailand, when I was there with my family, well, my wife really, not family, I had this real nice Rolex. And when I went to a restaurant, immediately they jumped on me and got us seated. I don't know why. It's just a psychological thing in Thailand. If you dress nice, you're wearing a nice bit of jewelry or a nice watch, they just look at you differently. It's not to say you can walk in a pair of shorts and t-shirt. They won't treat you badly, but it seems to be indented. It not just Thailand. My wife's from Korea. I've been all over Asia, and it seems to be the thing in Asia more so than Europe that if you're wearing a nice bit of kit, they tend to kind of notice, you know, and it kind of helps you out there. Right, Matthew Cartwright. No, definitely not. I've answered you before I even read the question. Getting on the whiskey yet, Peter? I know it's Sunday, but a couple won't hurt. I will have a couple later, Matthew, but I'll leave it till about 10 when I'm watching a bit of telly. And I don't want to. I'll go on then. I'll have one just for you. Okay, this is for you. Right, it's not for me. It's for you. I'm doing this for you. This is my bit for customer service. You're not a customer, but you know what I mean. One, and that's it. Right. Okay, Matthew, this is for you. Just the one, okay? Cheers. Let's get this off. So, cheers. Oh, actually, that's a hard call with it. The beer's going down nice, you know, but that whiskey's kind of warm. Has to go in the fridge. Okay, Mike. Peter, I missed most of the Friday live stream. You didn't miss a lot, to be honest with you, Mike. I had so many technical problems. It was awful. Out for my birthday. Happy birthday, belated. But was wondering whether you had any more offers on your house. I was there earlier. With interest rates going up, I guess it's affecting the sale. Yeah, what it is, I don't want to go on too much because I spoke about this earlier, but people are very nervous at the moment. The markets are kind of, I'm in my house is a 4-bedroom, 2 garage, nice house, worked hard all my life. And the people just aren't going for these sort of houses at the moment because of interest rates and everything. But I'll be honest with you, the way it is with me and my wife, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm quite happy to live here with her. She's quite happy to live here with me. But eventually we want our green card so she can do her thing. I can go to Thailand. If it doesn't sell for a year or whatever, I'll just keep going to Thailand. I'll stay there. I'm not working anymore. I'll stay there for as long as I want. She can stay here. I'll pay the bills. She, you know, I trust her. So when it happens, it happens. It's not like a very messy, awful, terrible divorce where lawyers are involved and we hate each other, and it's not like that at all. Right, Shane O'Traver, go Peter, just one more squid shot. It's not that nice because it's actually warm. I'm going to block Matthew Cartwright because he's a bad influence on this stream, isn't he? Right, let's get look. Keenox says, I got a nice Rolex, 2 Batman Kitman 75, can't wear it here, Essex, I would get mugged. That is the problem, is it? I didn't want to say because I sound a bit negative, but the thing is, in England, you wear a real nice watch, somebody spots it, it's instant cash, isn't it? So you got to, you know, you have got to be careful. I know a guy who used to wear a Rolex, but what he used to do when he went out to functions, he put it in the inside pocket of his suit because he went out to a lot of dinners and stuff with his company, and he'd wear a crappy watch and he'd put his Rolex. And when he got to the venue, he'd go to the toilet, put his Rolex on, put his crappy watch in his pocket, and he'd do the event, the evening. And then when he was going home, he'd reverse it again. And sadly, in this country, that's what it's become. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you there, Gemini Star. Matthew Cartwright, you're a bad influence on Peter. He really is. He really is. I'm going to have to block him. Oh, actually, it's not going down that well. Friday nights, it goes down a treat, but it's kind of like being at the dentist, you know, like drink this. We've got to extract about half a dozen teeth. Nice line of trouser, better in the evening rather than tatty shorts. Okay. Yeah, Javier, salute. Right. I'm going to have a whiskey in support of the... Oh, I've lost you. Where in support of the stream? Cashier, yeah, thank you. Right. Terry Delve. I hope I pronounced your surname right, Terry. Trying to get an honest answer. Just how bad is the air in Chiang Mai? The air is fantastic in Chiang Mai. It's clean, it's fresh, it's 100% better than in Bangkok. But because people are starting to type now, but you've got the burning season. Unfortunately, they burn the stubble of the straw, and it's absolutely terrible. A lot of Thais who live in Chiang Mai, they move out to Bangkok, or they go and stay with relatives because it is that bad. It's like an apocalypse. Get that word out right? You know, it's terrible. If you're going to live there, you want to get out of Chiang Mai when the burning season. It lasts for about a month. It's absolute. It's terrible. It's really bad for your health as well. But other than that, it's very nice. It's very nice. Hi, Randy. How you doing? Nice to see you in. Mark Hanley again. First Thai girl I had a situation was in Amsterdam in the red light area. Stunner. Best window shopping I did. I was 16 years old. 30 gliders at the time. Guilders, 30 guilders at the time. That's one place I haven't been is Amsterdam. I don't particularly have any kind of wish to go there, to be honest with you. Right, Checkbound. I went Rolex shopping with my friend recently. Huge Rolex shop, no stock. They said they only had one basic gents model for sale with a very long waiting list. Well, that's the thing about Rolex. Somebody, I didn't miss it, but I've lost the chat now. But somebody mentioned earlier about the Rolex. Is it the Maritime? The most expensive Rolex you can get. I don't know what they cost, but let's just say you can buy that Rolex for £50,000. Let's just say it might be double, it might be half, but let's just say it's £50,000 from the factory, brand new. If you order it and you wait 3 years and you actually get it, you can sell that watch for probably £60,000, and people will pay it. You know, somebody told me today about an auction where they were selling whiskey, ancient whiskey, because people collect whiskey. And this, I didn't notice, I think it was a little barrel of whiskey from the 18th century or something, but it went at auction. Now, we're talking about a barrel that size of whiskey, right? Maybe slightly bigger. How much do you think it went for on auction? £16 million, right? Somebody went on an auction and bought a small barrel of whiskey for £16 million. Where was she from, the lady? She was from Asia. Yeah, and that's a true story. Right, Martin Ryder. Can't get a steel sports Rolex for under 15,000. I think there's a lot of good watches now. I mean, it's all about the name. It's like Levi jeans. You know, are they the best in the world? You'll pay through the nose. There's a lot of good pairs of jeans, aren't there? Right, Big N says, now you said that about the hidden camera, I am paranoid. Well, you don't need to be paranoid. Just check out what's in the room. Be sensible. If you're suspicious, cover it up. You can't cover up a fire thing, but you can get apps where if you use one side of your camera and they explain which one to use, you can put it next to it and it will show there's something in the camera that picks up. But I wouldn't be too paranoid about it. What's the worst they're going to see? Your bum, right? Like a fiddler's elbow going like that. Not so bad. Right. Trip on the Wheels. Thank you for that super chat. Peter, what service or software did you use to make your animated videos? They were great, and I'd like to make something similar for my bike channel. Well, I didn't actually make them. They were made in an Adobe program, and people have said to me, the guy who made them for me, my friend Simon, he just didn't have the time to do them anymore. I don't know the exact name of the Adobe program. Now, a lot of the work you can get done with Fiverr, for instance, Pakistan, India, Philippines. People will do. If I wanted a website built, for instance, I could get a website built for $50 or less, probably. Or if I wanted something done. And I really wanted to keep these animations because they were great for the channel. They were unique. You had Nat with her voice and it was great. But you can't farm out that sort of work on Fiverr because there's a lot of elements that are important. Firstly, you need to know the bar scene in Thailand, okay? You need to know it, the story. You need to know how the bar girls are. Secondly, you need a Thai girl who's got that voice, who can come across like Nat did, okay? And thirdly, you need to be able to use that very sophisticated software to come up with those animations. I put all those little 10-minute clips into one hour movie. I missed out episode 8. I'm sort of kicking myself about that. But I put that up about 3 months ago. It's had over 300,000 viewings on it. You know, people watch it and they watch the whole thing. They love it. I'm not just saying this is BS. I don't know the name. I know it was an Adobe program. You can look on YouTube. I had a go at trying to do it. It was very difficult. Don't forget, you've got to write a script. You've got to get the people involved who have got a voiceover. I was in a couple of them. I did voiceovers. It's very, very difficult. But if you're up for it, then why not? Give it a go. Okay. Is it the Daytona, Mark? That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. The Paul Newman Rolex Daytona has become the most expensive Rolex ever sold at auction, fetching 17.8 million in 2017. Yeah, absolutely. I know you're speaking right there, Mark. Do you know what comes to mind when I know people spend this sort of money, like the lady who spent 16 million pounds on the whiskey? What I'm thinking to myself is, if I wanted to invest in something at my level, something for the future, I would maybe invest £10,000 in some kind of bonds or ISA, or if I had a bit more money, I have got a couple of small properties from when I was younger, but I'm saying now, if I had some money and say, oh, I want to invest in something, all right, I might invest in this little 2-bedroom house that's £100,000, get a bit of a mortgage on it, I'll put maybe 60,000 down. That's my investment. That's a good investment, right? What I think is, the person who bought the Paul Newman Rolex Daytona, I said that wrong, Daytona, at 17.8 million, based on what I've just said, how much money is that person worth? Think about it, right? The lady in Asia, she bought a small barrel of whiskey. The distillery's closed down now, so it's worth a lot of money. 16 million pounds. Can you imagine what her bank account is saying if she can invest that? Because people are doing that now. There's no gold's through the roof, isn't it? There's no interest rates in the banks, so people are buying things that they think, long term they can make money on. Them. They're buying classic cars. They're all going up. Paintings, gold, barrels of ancient whiskey where the distilleries are closed down. All sorts of things. But what sort of a financial position do you have to be in to be able to buy a 17.8 million watch? And on top of that, would you wear that down the street? I'd kill for that watch. I really would, change my life, wouldn't it? Right, cashier. What lay people seem to miss is that a lot of the benefit of buying very expensive watches, whiskey, and art is a benefit of legally moving vast sums across international boundaries. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't mention that just now, and that you are absolutely correct. They're clever people, aren't they? They wouldn't, if they're not clever, they wouldn't be in the position to have all that money. That's why I'm broke. Right, Jeff say, thank you, mate, for the couple of quid there, couple of dollars. Memories in where people surf outside of Phuket. Okay, that's some information for the surfer. Memories is where people surf outside of Phuket. Okay, well, I'm not a surfer. Hopefully the guy who asked, I put it upon the stream now so he should see your message there. And thank you for the super chat. Okay, let's read one of Danish Bacon's. A regular, don't read his out too many these days. I know the narrow alley in the dam. Okay. Premiere Pro, a good editing software. There's so much. You can get something for anything now. I love the internet. I love computers. I spend all day on them, And I'm 62. All my streams with the pictures and apart from the animations, I do it myself. I've got no formal education on how to do it. I just do it. Right. Tommy Guy says, no watch bought in Thailand has ever worked for me longer than weeks. Most have the same cheap works inside. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I remember I'm going to go down memory lane now. Do you remember, I'm 62. Do you remember when you were a kid and you on your mantelpiece, you had a clock. Every family had a clock. And it was normally had a wooden case with a nice face. And as a kid, you'd look at it and you'd open the back and it had a really sophisticated movement inside with all these brass wheels moving and fascinating to watch. Each clock was different. And nowadays, it doesn't matter what clock you get. It can be that size for the kitchen wall, or it can be a little thing that goes on your wrist, not your wrist, clocks. You open it up, it's got the same movement, made in China in every clock. It doesn't bother me, just an observation. Right, Clive, I've had 2 bottles of wine, and the missus bottle of blimey. I'm going to have 2 hot dogs and chips and baked beans now, yummy. Yeah, that's why I put on a lot of weight. But you tend to do that in the UK, don't you? I'm not criticizing you for that. I've done it. Yeah, all right, Mark. Thank you. I agree with that. Kareem, how are you doing? I haven't been there for a long time. Sure, things have changed. Always used to have a good selection. Then you had the indoor area at the end. All right. Oh, I've done that one. I'm trying to find... Let's have a look. Ron Kuma. I saw the story about the whiskey and she got 440 bottles over 5 years. Okay. Somebody sent it to me, actually. I'm not going to keep naming names. A lot of the time, some of the people I speak to, I say regular, but if I keep saying the same name over and over, you're going to think, what is it with this guy? Is he giving backhanders? So I tend to say, somebody told me. So somebody told me somebody sent me that today or yesterday. He knows who he is. Right, Franco De Rosa, Thailandbound. I'm sure you said to me today you were only doing 90 minutes today. It must be running slow. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do a real. When Franco and I had a kebab, I almost feel like I'm insulting real food, when I say we went for a meal. No, when I met Franco today, we were talking about the length of the streams and everything else, and he said to me, well, you're working tomorrow, how long is it going to be tonight? And I said, it's not going to be long, Franco, because I can't stay in the heat long. And I know this is a kind of running joke now that I always say it won't go on long. It's been 2 hours now. I'll go a few more minutes yet until I finish this beer probably. I'm working tomorrow. I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, guys. I'm glad you guys enjoy it as well. And on a Sunday, it's very casual, isn't it? And but I do have to work, and I need to take another shower because it's so sweltering in here. Right, check bound. They say behind every great fortune is a crime. I don't know. There are some clever people out there. Right, Matthew. Before your next comment, no, because I didn't enjoy that one. That's it. Right, Peter Mazza. Peter, I've just tried Johnny Walker Black Label for the first time on your recommendation. Lovely stuff. Cheers. Yeah, but the thing is, Mazza, when you drink Black Label, don't do what they do in Thailand. Pour Coca-Cola and everything into it, because it's a premium whiskey. It's not meant to be drank like 7-Up. If you enjoy a whiskey Coke or a whiskey lemonade or whatever, drink something like this. It's from the co-op. It tastes okay. But if you're having a premium whiskey, something that costs £30 a bottle, then you should, you have a shot neat and you let it slowly run down your throat, and you enjoy it. That's what an expensive whiskey is for. It's not for, in Thailand they sling it down with Coke. I watch it and I think, well, why don't you just drink, what's the popular one you get in 7-Eleven? Blend. Very good, actually, Blend. Right, only in Thailand. Canary sprays his wing. 9 million Dale Boy got for the watch, and he said, we'll have better days. Yeah. Only Fools and Horses. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. JB said, I might have to join you in that shower, Peter. It's too hot. Well, I don't know about that, JB. I only swing one way, mate. Honestly, no offense to you. Oh. Right, let's have a look. That used to be quite a good show as well. Ali G for PM. Do you remember Ali G? He got these interviews with famous people, but the famous people thought it was just a young man who wanted to do a serious interview, and he used to kind of the one I like, the one Ali G did that I really like was when he was in Ireland. Irish people in Ireland, it's common for them to say, "Oh, it was a great crack," and what they mean by that is it was a great time. It was good fun. We had a crack. It was a good time. That's what they say. The word crack. Oh, it was a crack. It was a cracking night. And Ali G, you know what crack means as well as drugs. And he was talking to some Irish people, and he says, yeah, but do you have to do the drugs? And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, you said you did you had some good crack last night. And the guy's interviewing hasn't got a clue. He thinks it's serious. He's like, no, we had a good time. He says, yeah, but you should stay away from drugs. And it's just really clever how he did it. Right, memory lane now, Mazza. Does anyone remember Jenny, the hostess from Billy's Bar near Nana? Lovely girl. Helped me out with a few things on my first night in Bangkok. They're all nice. There's a lot of nice people there. I don't personally remember her. No, I don't know if I've met her. Yeah, don't worry, Peter. I would never mix a decent whiskey. No, you shouldn't do. I mean, it's up to you. It's your whiskey. You can pour it over your head and rub it into your head if you want to. I used to know a woman who used to do that with garlic. She used to rub garlic in her hair, and you could smell her before you've seen her. Horrible. Right. Why did she? Your next question is, why did she rub garlic into her hair? She just thought it was good for her hair. But at the end of the day, these adverts that say, beautiful hair, this shampoo will bring life into your lovely hair. Look at the shine. That's all bollocks, because hair is actually dead. Hair is dead. So all that is rubbish. Right. Borat. Yeah, that was another one. Mark Borat was good, but what put me off watching him was the one where he went into an American household and he said, I need to use the toilet. And he came out with this plastic bag I know it wasn't real, but you could see it was brand. The people were disgusted, and for me, I might be sounding a bit of a prude, but I didn't find that funny. I found everything else he did very clever, very funny, but when he come out with that poo bag and with that American decent family, I thought, no, he's stepping over the line now. It's not for me. Personal choice. Who is the girl in the thumbnail for this video? I don't know her name. She's Thai, Patia, very well endowed. Right, Kasia says, when I first started visiting Thailand, Johnny Walker was being advertised almost everywhere. Now I associate Black Label with being on a vacation. Well, let me tell you something. Hang on. Oh, I shouldn't really snivel my nose on a stream, but no choice. Right, so when I first arrived in Thailand, I think it was 91, right? The only whiskey you could get, Black Label is very, very popular, but not everybody in Thailand could afford Black Label. So you had Mekong whiskey, and there was another Thai whiskey. I can't remember the name. You don't have to tell me. It's okay. They're two Thai whiskies, but for me, they were very syrupy. When you poured them, they kind of seemed a little bit thicker than normal whiskey liquid, so you could get Black Label. Now, if you lived there and you drank whiskey regularly, you couldn't afford to keep buying Black Label every night or every week, and there was no alternative, so it was quite a difficult one. And then they brought a whiskey out called Black Cat, which I haven't seen for a long time, but that was on a par with something like a supermarket basic whiskey, you know, the Tesco whiskey with the white and blue lines, a real basic cheap stuff. But it was up to a level that was acceptable, and it was a half decent price. But now they do this Signature, and you've got one called Signature Premium, I think it is, and it's anywhere between 300 and 400 baht, and it's very, very good. It's very good, actually. And when I'm in Thailand, I'll buy a bottle of the Signature, the upgraded one from 7-Eleven. They all sell at about 400 baht, and it's very good if you're a whiskey drinker. Right, thanks for that super sticker. That's from Innovations Reality. Thank you for that. Okay, Tom Young Guy, after the first few shots, your taste buds are dead enough. You can't tell the best from the average. I don't want to start an argument with you, but honestly, I can have 10 whiskies, and if you slipped in a cheap one, I would tell you that's not Black Label. I honestly can tell you, because the taste doesn't go away. You don't get used to it. Not for me anyway. Yeah, Martin Ryder, Samsen whiskey. That was it. You're in a bit late, Trev. I'm just about to end, but good to see you in. Drink Lao Carl, mate. Laugh out loud. Well, you mentioned you don't think I watch your streams, Trevor, but I do, and I do remember you last week. You said Peter likes a little whiskey, and I'll have a half of one just because to celebrate that you're in the stream, because. I do a sneaky. I did say to Matthew Arkwright that I'd only have the one because he's a bad influence on me. But nice to see you in the stream, Trevor. And I'll do this just for you because you did mention your stream. So cheers, Trevor. There you go. Oh, but yeah, I tend to come by from time to time, and I do catch a lot of your stuff. But obviously, if you've got a YouTube channel, you can't sit in front and watch everybody's stream all the way through. But I do catch bits and bobs. But I just happened to catch you in when you said, "Oh, he likes a bit of whiskey." And the other guy from Walking Street, he said the same thing, both on the same day. And I thought that was a little bit weird. Right, where are we? Checkbound. Great to see Buzz and Patty in the stream. Yeah. Trevor and I are friends. Good guy. Looked after me when I was in Thailand. I always say that, Trevor. Got me smashed every night, but then that's not difficult to do. He didn't have to do a lot of persuading. JB, you need to be careful with counterfeit alcohol when you're abroad. I was once served a Johnny Wanker. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a joke, but yes, definitely in a place like China. I think you're okay. I think you're pretty safe in Thailand, and definitely if you buy it from a 7-Eleven. I'd be very surprised if you got any fake whiskey in a 7-Eleven. I've never come across it in Thailand, full stop. China, now that's a different story. Where are we? Cashier again. Samsung is much closer to rum than whiskey. I'm not sure why people call it whiskey, honestly. It probably goes back to the days, like I said to you, when you couldn't get whiskey. Like I said to you, when I arrived there in 91, there were only 2 Thai whiskies and Black Label, and the Thais called it whiskey. But I know it's got a kind of bourbon taste to it, hasn't it? I never took to it. For one, I found it a little bit syrupy, a little bit thicker. I found it had a kind of, it wasn't sweet, but it was almost like it had a bit of sugar syrup in it. And it just didn't bite the back of my throat. You know, it just didn't do it for me. And I've never drank Thai whiskey. And what's really weird as well, I've never liked Singer beer. I don't know why. It's always given me a headache. But the Leo, the Chang, that's okay. And you know, Chang used to be about 7%, 8%, 7.9. You know, people are afraid to drink Chang because they think, oh, 7.9, I'll get drunk. It was 7.9. It's now 4.9 or 5.2. They reduced it, and it's quite safe to drink it. Yeah, Keenox says, a shot of your dong will put hairs on your chest. I need some hairs on my chest. You know, when I shave, I don't shave here. I'm 62. I only grow hair. It's like bum fluff here. That's why I've never grown a beard. Yeah, now that one, let me just find that one. Trevor says, thanks for the message, guys. Peter's funny when he's smashed. I ain't going to get smashed tonight, though. Are you meaning, we had a blast, didn't we, Trevor, in let me tell everybody very, very quickly. I've mentioned it before. So, you know, I went out there in December, caught COVID, got, you know, people said I did a runner from the hotel. I didn't. That's another story. But I went down to Pattaya, and Trevor, you know, Trevor, he was a perfect host because he didn't say, well, I'm in this bar, come and see me. He came to Soy 8 where I was staying in the hotel, Flipper Lodge. You know, no expense spared on my part. And Trevor and I, believe it or not, sounds very camp. We actually met in the Sailor Bar, but Trevor came to me. So I thought that was pretty decent of him. And I was there for about 5 days. And Trevor could have been polite and met me the first day and said, I'm busy the second day, whatever. But he met me every day. We went out and we had a good time. I met a lot of subscribers for his channel, for my channel. We went out to the sports bar out in, I'm not really familiar with that area, but I went out every night with Trevor. I got pissed a few times. I'm surprised how much Trevor can drink, actually. He's no flipping, you know, teetotaler, that's for sure. He likes he likes a few, don't be fooled by him. He likes a few snifters, as it were. But yeah, no, he looked after me. I had a good time, and congratulations on the bar and everything. I'm glad that's gone well. Right, David, I always get your last name wrong. I'll just say David. Evening, Peter and all. Sorry, late on duty, but F1 motor race rerunning just for. I can't compete with the F1 motor race, can I? Okay, Mazza. I enjoyed Phone Jacket 2, Peter K's Phoenix Nights, and Shameless were two of my favorites. Right, I never took to Shameless. That wasn't really me, but Peter K, you know, a legend, a god. I mean, Phoenix Night was great, wasn't it? You know, absolutely brilliant. I think my favorite episode where he got stuck on the chair lift and actually shit himself, and they kicked the door down there. Well, what's that smell? What's that smell? Very, very clever. Could watch it again. I might watch it again. Right, Franco, Dutch Frank. Yes, that is the real. But yeah, if you wonder what that's about, Trevor, we've been having a lot of spoof channels in. You know, fake Ed Sweeney's, fake this, fake that. And when we get real YouTubers in, people are like, is that really him or is that somebody else? Right, Mark, I always ask for Jack. I have been drinking it for almost 50 years. I doubt someone could pass off some fake. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Same as I said to you. You know, I like a nice whiskey. I can't afford to drink Black Label every night. If I could, I would. I'm drinking this stuff from the supermarkets. It's not the basic. It's a 3-year kind of matured. It's good enough. It's good enough. And you guys watching this, you might think, Christ, Peter's a right alky. He drinks every night. I don't. I really don't. It's just when I get into the streams, it's relaxing. You have a good time. And there you go. Right. Keenox says, Sailor Bar, bash your cocktails, cheapest chip. I thought it was all right, Sailor Bar. Good. The food was okay. A little bit slow. I'll be honest with you. I went in there a couple of times by myself, 4 o'clock, because I wanted to go out drinking. I found it a bit slow. I found the staff they weren't unfriendly, but it was kind of, you know, I wouldn't recommend complaining, but it was okay. Stuart Marston, evening, Peter. First time back in for a couple of weeks. Just back from a break in Greece. Looking forward to catching up on the last couple of streams. Yeah, nice to see you, Stuart. I had a lot of technical problems on Friday, as did Ed Sweeney. And what we think it's down to now, I was changing microphones. I was sweating. It was all going wrong. But I think what it was, I think either YouTube or StreamYards had a problem because somebody wrote, there were a lot of streams that day were having problems. Ed's stream went in black and white for a while. You know what happened with me. I was losing the sound. I was panicking. I lost my mojo. It just didn't work for me. And, you know, what can I say? It seems to be okay tonight. Thank heavens. Mark Marsolizer. I'm sorry if I get your last name wrong. I'm just going to call you Mark. Hi, Peter. Please tell the funny story about one night you drank so much whiskey that you stumbled out of the bar and fell asleep on a pile of garbage bags. You got a good memory. Later, you woke up. Oh, the street dogs. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I had to actually pull that video. It was. I made a video and it was just kind of shooting down Soy Cowboy. I leave that up so don't forget, because I always forget when I'm talking. And I can't remember why, but I think one of the girls' breasts came out of a bikini or something on Soy Cowboy for a second, and she put it back in laughing. And YouTube picked it up and said, you can't, you got to edit it out. And I deleted it in the end. But I told a story over that video, but in text, so I had some nice music going. I was filming the girls, and then the text. And the story he's talking about was in the early days when I'd first arrived in Thailand. I think it was 1992. I was about 32 and I went out drinking. I wasn't used to it. I've been in those days, the bars literally stayed open all night. If you said to a bar, what time do you close? They'd say, what time are you leaving? It really was like that. I mean, I've come out of Therme at 6:30 in the morning, stood on the steps. I couldn't even see the other side of Sukhumvit Road. And I'm watching the Thais go to work. But this particular story that Mark's talking about, and it's a true story, it really is, hand on heart. But what happened, I got took out by some friends, and I was drinking hardcore all night. And I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning I left, and I couldn't remember anything. And just to cut the story short, where I ended up, at the end of Soy Cowboy on the Asok end, in those days, all the bars used to put their rubbish into black bags, and at the end of the night they'd carry them and they'd have a dumping ground. As you come out of Soy Cowboy, there's a sock, right? On the right-hand corner there's food carts and that now, but there never used to be. Just after Country Roads, they used to have piles and piles of black rubbish sacks. I mean, a mountain of rubbish sacks. And I'd eaten, obviously, in the evening that night. So what happened, I came out the bar, and my friend said, well, I'm going this way because I live down 22, so I'm going out that end. And I'm like, well, I'm in Soy 4, I'm going out that end. See you, yeah, great night, blah, blah, blah. I'm totally pissed, of course, absolutely wrecked. And of course, I couldn't get to the end of the street because what happened, they were still serving drinks. Girls started pulling my shirt and, oh, one more, mister, come in, handsome man. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll have a couple of drinks. And I think I left before sun up, absolutely paralytic. And to cut a long story short, what happened was I tripped over into this pile of black bags. And because I was so drunk, I actually fell asleep. And I woke up probably about, I think it was about 9:30 in the morning. So I probably tripped up about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, tripped and fell into the middle of this pile of black bags. But because I was so pissed, I fell asleep. And the way I woke up, and this is pretty disgusting actually, because I don't know how many rats were in there, but nothing to do with rats. I was laying there in this pile of bags, and this street dog from Soy Cowboy, because I was drunk, had been eating a burger or rice or something. It was all around my lips and, a right state, all encrusted and dry. And I was laying there, absolutely paralytic drunk in a deep sleep. And I felt something. And what it was, this street dog, it was actually licking my mouth, trying to get the encrusted rice or whatever I'd had in the night. And I woke up like, well, disgusted. I know. And I looked, the first thing, panicked, watch was there, wallet was there. And that was it. I got in a taxi, went back to the hotel, cleaned up. But, I could have caught every disease known to man from that street dog. But, I mean, funny, isn't it? I know, but, not recommended for sure. Okay, Danny Ho, what about the time you ended up with the lady boys because you drank? Tell that one again, please, mister. You're on the wrong channel, Danny Ho. I've never ended up with a lady boy by mistake. If I had, I wouldn't be ashamed to share it. I would tell the story. It would all be for fun. But I think you must be on the wrong channel because that's not me. Right, Danish Bacon, great story. Okay. Mark Hanley, Trev, the boardies are in. Okay. Paul Shackleton said, I love that story. It's, it's one of those only in Thailand stories, isn't it? If I told that to an English guy, I'd think, nah, this guy's a fantasist. There's no way. But for guys who have been to Thailand and they've been to Soy Cowboy and they know what it's all about, they can relate to it. And when they hear that story, they think, yeah, okay, I know. Because things like that happen in Thailand. I actually like that, JB. The watch and wallet was intact. It was still on me, but the bottom was a bit stretched. That might have woke me up, actually. Okay, cashier, yeah. I think Danny means buzzing. Yeah, I remember that story. Trevor said he went out one night, accidentally pulled a lady boy and thought, heck, what the heck, I'm not going to waste my money, whatever. Yeah, sorry, apologies to you because I probably sounded a bit kind of defensive. I thought you meant me. All right, thanks for clearing that up, cashier. Paul Hoskin, how much did you drink that night? I can't count it, Paul. You know, I don't know if they had any alcohol left in the bars when I mean, I was, put it this way, I tripped and and slept for 3 hours in a bag of rubbish. How much alcohol do you have to drink to do that? Yeah, that doesn't happen so much now, Martin. Watch your wallet, but missing a kidney. That was something that happened years ago. You don't hear about it now, but what used to happen, it was a kind of urban legend. I don't know if it's actually true, but it was talked about a lot. Whereas, you know, organs I'm not talking about, you know, church organs. I'm talking about the body auctions. You know, people need a kidney transplant. It's not always easy to get a kidney. And there were stories back then in the 90s where people went out, got drunk, and they'd wake up in a bath of ice. And they'd wake up and there was a note stuck to the wall. It would say, "You've had a kidney removed, get yourself to a hospital as soon as possible." And the ice stopped them dying. So what basically happened is they drugged them, got them in this bath. Some rogue doctor came along, cut out one of their kidneys, because you can get by on one kidney, no problem, right? And they took that kidney to transplant into somebody who paid them a lot of money. And they'd put you in ice so you didn't die. And basically you had to go to hospital and get patched up. I mean, awful. But it's a bit of an urban legend. I don't know if it's actually true. I think it possibly could be. Right. Smoothing medication, classic drunk story, laugh out loud. Wake up on a flat roof one time. Yeah. We all do silly things when we're young. It's all good fun though, isn't it? Okay, Franco, Frank, welcome to Franco's live employment agency tonight. Right, Chak, slept rough in Laos. Big man thought the curfew didn't apply to me. Hotel locked me out till 8 a.m. Yeah, all good memories, isn't it? Okay, Trevor. LB, story was from Walking Street. It was emotional. I bet it was emotional. Peter, let's do a collab and share drunken mistake. Trevor, I'm up for it. I'm always up for it. But you are a hard man to get hold of these days. You know where I am. If you want to get something going, if you want to do it, you come on a Sunday. Sunday's a great day, because I don't know if you know this. You probably don't, but I'm experimenting, because you know I'm going to be going out to live in Thailand. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I know you do your streaming in our morning, so you know I've written to you in the past and said, look, Trev, I might do a stream. What time does your stream finish? Because I know I don't have to ask you, but out of mutual respect, I always say, when do you finish? Because I don't want to clash. Same with Ed or anybody I'm friendly with on YouTube. But what I'm trying to do now, I'm experimenting, because you know I'm coming out to Thailand to live. I'm back out there in October for 2 months. And I'm trying to find when I'll be able to do a stream that I can catch my UK crowd, because I've built up a bit of a following now. You know, and collaborations, yeah, great. I mean, we can talk beforehand. We can list out all your stories, list out one of my stories, you know, and we can bring people in. I'm up for it, absolutely. And Sunday would be perfect. I do 7 p.m. Sunday night, which would be your time. What's that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 1 in the morning, basically. I know you're an early night person. We can do an hour. We don't have to do very long. I've been going for 2.5 hours now. I said I was told Frank I was doing 2 hours. But yeah, you know, you got my email address, haven't you? It's up there. Look. Okay. Let's have a look. Where are we? Lost his chat now. Right, we've got the fake Ed Sweeney in, and before anything says anything, the fake Ed Sweeney is not actually a troll or a cyber bully, anything like that. He's actually a genuine guy. He just happens to be called the fake Ed Sweeney. All right, the kidney story is the urban legend book, Too Good to Be True, by Jan Harold Brunvan. I will send you the PDF and audio file. Yeah, okay, the fake Ed Sweeney. I don't advertise my book anymore because I said I wouldn't, but seeing you've brought out books, what about this? What about that? Amazon, Thailand Bound, stories, real tales of love and losses in the land of smiles. Yeah, that I've got about 30 stories now. The sales are going well. I've done about 60 now in a month. So volume 2 is currently getting written as we speak. Right. I find it very hard to end these streams. You know, I've got a time frame in my head, but they go, you know, they start just when you want to end, they start picking up and going really well, don't they? But I am working tomorrow, guys. I am working tomorrow. Let's have a look. Danish Bacon. The based the Hangover 2 movie on Peter's Bangkok exploits in the 1990s. Now, they're a bit more upmarket than me. Dutch Frang. I tell you what, we could have a stream where you guys could share your stories with me. Email them to me. Yeah, well, why don't we try that? Okay, if you've got a story similar to that, not similar, but a story as outrageous as the one I've just told you, send it in to me in a very brief form. Don't give me your inside leg measurements because it's a lot to read. Just give me the brief outline of the story. And if I can collect enough of them, I might do a video. That'd be a great idea for a video, wouldn't it? So things that happen to you in Thailand, weird things, Send them to me. I'll put them together. I'll put out a video. It might, good idea. Always looking for new stuff. Right, Terry says it's 4:30 p.m. in Canada now. So what's the difference there? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're only 5 hours ahead there, Terry. That's great. I don't even know what bromance means. Oh, you're taking the mickey. It's yeah, I know what you mean. Right, Dutch Frank. I remember having an experience with a ladyboy, one of the best nights of my life. Okay, I'll have to take your word for that because I haven't. Right, Mark again. Peter, you seem like a one-lady man. Do you think you will hook up with a long-term friendship with a lady there? A lot of people have asked me that because I'm separating with my wife. I'm just looking at my dog on my CCTV. I don't know whether he wants to come in or go out. I'll leave him there for a while. Let me read the question. Do you think you'll hook up with a long-term friendship? I don't know. I'd like to think that I could maybe have I definitely don't want to live with anybody. That's for sure. I'm quite happy with my own company. I'm quite happy in Thailand. The only reason you're lonely in Thailand, if you want to be, I'd like to maybe have 1 or 2 friends who are genuine friends. Okay. You know what I mean by genuine friends, not, playing games with me, but I'm so cynical. I've read probably 500 stories on the channel about what's happened to guys. I've got a lot of experience over the years. I put up defenses before anything happens. So we'll have to see. You can't plan these sort of things, can you? Right, Matthew. Keep going, Peter. We're loving it. Great way to end the weekend. Is that whiskey cold yet? I'm finding it hard getting it down, Mark. I got a little bit there, Matthew. The first one was for you. The second was for Trevor, but that's it. Mark, 16:30 here. Yeah, okay, not too far ahead. Thanks, Mark. I'm not going to put that up, but I do appreciate that. Danny Ho. He is a free man on the lam. All right. Terry Delve again. Weekend girlfriends are best. Yeah. Franco. Mazza, contact Peter, then he will contact if you fancy a change. Okay. Okay. Right, guys. I'd love to go on, but I am working tonight. Tomorrow. Let's see. I said tonight now. It's starting, is it? How long have we been going? 2.5 hours. Look, guys, I'll be back on Friday. It's been a good stream. How many have we got? We've still got 350 in. I hate to end it now. I really do. I'm enjoying it. But the thing is, I am working. My poor old dog's sitting in the garden feeling lonely. I've got to take another shower. It's 25 to 10 here. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I hope you'll be in next Friday. Thanks a lot, guys. I do appreciate your input, and thanks for all the super chats. And Trevor, if you're still out there, get in touch. You got my WhatsApp. We'll sort something out. We'll do something together. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you all on Friday. Okay. Good night, guys. Wrong one. Just shows you, right? Wrong one.